Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Wolters World, and today we are actually at our Airbnb in Utrecht, the Netherlands. We just got back from 2 weeks in Rwanda and Tanzania, and it was an incredible experience. One of the best family trips we've ever had. We loved every minute of Rwanda. The people there were incredible. It was such a wonderful experience. And Tanzania, with the animals, the people were just great. And so our summer has started out pretty busy. I've actually been on the road for about 6 weeks now, so I got a couple more weeks to go before I head home for a little bit, and we're traveling for the summer because we got to get a bunch of videos filmed so we can keep putting out those honest travel videos for you. Because I know a lot of you have asked us to get out and see more of the different places in the world, so we've been trying to do that better and better. So Rwanda and Tanzania. Hey, Michael, good to see you. ML, good to see you guys. And so we're trying to get out more. So got Rwanda, Tanzania. This summer we've already been. I was teaching in Austria actually earlier this summer, and I was teaching in Italy. And we got to Slovenia, Slovakia, Hungary, Czech Republic. So it's gonna, and then of course Rwanda, Tanzania. We still have Belgium, a little more Netherlands, Luxembourg, and some France to go. And then that's halfway through the summer. And then we go back home to the U.S. for a little bit to recharge the batteries before we go again. I'll be in the Shetland Islands later this summer as well. Might be in LA too. I don't know yet. I'm thinking after this long trip, I might have to postpone my LA trip and just stay home and relax and like maybe shave my beard because if you ever wonder what it looks like when you travel and you don't have your beard stuff, it gets a little long. So this is about six weeks of beard growth here. To go on top of everything. So I hope everybody's doing well. So one thing I always like to talk about in the summer is what was your summer vacation kind of stuff. I know when I was a kid, people always kind of laugh because they're like, oh, Mark, did you do a lot of traveling when you were a kid? And honestly, our travels as a kid, we went from Illinois to Toledo, Ohio, and Sandusky, Ohio when we were kids. And we went and saw Grandpa. We went and saw Grandpa in Toledo and Leah, and then we went over to Sandusky to Cedar Point to see my parents' friends there, and that was our summer vacation year after year. So it's funny because my parents now travel a lot internationally, but they never did when we were younger, and now they do all the time. So it's really kind of an interesting thing. So I hope people are on the feed and getting the feed. There's only 2 people on here so far, so hopefully I've got everything set up right. If not, hey, I'm trying to. I got a new Surface here, Microsoft Surface, to see if that this will work when I travel, because having the big laptop traveling all over was just kind of a pain. So I got one of those tablet kind of things to do that. So I can try to do some video editing. I got some done, but this trip we've been trying to get so much done because we're working on our second channel, Professor Wolters, as well, and so. So it's been an interesting summer because I've probably got 40 business videos filmed so far, and I have probably 45, 50 travel videos filmed. So we did stuff on safari. We did stuff like what to do on safaris, what not to do on safaris. Like a lot of people wear their safari clothes all the time in Tanzania, and you don't do that. You just wear that like in the Serengeti, and you'll be okay. Hey everybody, nice to see everybody's popping in now. Good to see you. Yeah, Jimmy, I am a little tired. It's been a long couple days. For those who don't know that just got into the chat, so yesterday morning we got up at 5 a.m. We got to go see one of the tribes, a Bushman tribe in Tanzania. And so they were teaching us how to hunt and stuff like that. It was a really amazing experience and just a great thing. But it was an early morning. We got to see a couple more tribes there. It was really fantastic meeting the people in Tanzania. So we did do that. And then we had an overnight flight last night into Amsterdam. We're actually in Utrecht right now. Hey, everybody in India. Hola in Portugal. Hola, amigos in España. Everybody. Hey, Lucy. I'm sorry, I got to go to work. I'll be thinking of you, okay? Hey, in Ukraine, good to see you. Prague, good to see you there as well. Good to see everybody. Hey, Rocky, good to see you back on here. Lushy, I think it's all the beauty that we saw in Africa that my eyes were like, I must be extra blue to see everything. They got to be extra clear to see everything there. Hey, Tiali in Qatar or Qatar. I'm never sure how I'm supposed to say it. Is it Qatar or Qatar? Let me know. Hey, in Manchester. Hey, Tbilisi. I'm looking to come see you next year. So that's that. So Charlie McIntosh, right? Is Tanzania your favorite country in Africa? Actually, so far, I think Rwanda is the one that really got us the most. How the people have really come together after the genocide. You can't imagine like how the horrors. I mean, because when you go there, they have the genocide memorials, and they don't hold anything back. Like you hear the stories of how like even babies and kids were killed, and there's pictures and all kinds of stuff. It's really like wow, and then you see how far the countries come together to become. We're not Hutu, we're not Tutsi, we're Rwandan. It's really an amazing experience how they've come back together. I mean, it was just. I mean, Jocelyn cried 4 or 5 times when we were there. Outside of the genocide stuff, just because how moved we were when we were there, it was just a fantastic experience. And then going to Tanzania, because like Rwanda was more meeting the people. That's what we wanted to do. It was more culture stuff, and not so seeing the gorillas and the monkeys like you see in the Volcano National Park. We wanted to see people, so we tried to see villages. The kids got to play soccer with kids, all kinds of village kids all over Rwanda, and it's just an amazing experience. And then when we went to Tanzania was more, we went to Serengeti, we went to Ngorongoro, we went to Lake Manyara, and we saw, the big five, the elephants, lions, leopards, Cape buffalo, and, leopard, which one? Elephants. And so we got to see those. It was really kind of a great thing. Justin in Guatemala, good job, buddy. I love Guatemala, man. That place is awesome. Glad you're having a good time there. Good to hear that somebody heading to Norwegian fjords next May. Even if you're going in May, make sure you bring some warm clothes because it gets chilly, especially at night when you're there. Qatar in English. Okay. Thanks, Lucy. I appreciate the help with that one. So, Everson, Kilimanjaro is the next travel. I actually just got back. We were just there. And there's actually a beer called Kilimanjaro there. The 3 big beers are Kilimanjaro, Safari, and Serengeti. Oh, actually pretty good. Just FYI. When you're there. Hey, Arian in Avignon. I love Avignon. We spent Christmas there a couple times. It's a fantastic place. Inverness, Jocelyn's favorite town in Scotland. Good to see you there. Hey, everybody. So what I want to talk about today is I want to answer some of your questions. And I do appreciate everyone writing and saying hi and good. It's good to be back. I mean, I haven't had a live feed since I think early May or late April because I left early May and I'm still gone and there's still some more to do, some more traveling to do. So I'm trying to get a lot of stuff filmed, a lot of stuff worked on and stuff like that. So if you've been following us on our Instagram, it's at Wolters World. If you look on Instagram, you can see some of our pictures from Tanzania and Rwanda and see some of the fun stuff we had. Also, you can find Jocelyn at Jocelyn Wolters World. She's got her own Instagram feed too, so you can check that out. So there is that. So Lana James writes, how do you get over the fear of being lunch for wild animals? Would love to safari, but. So Lana, what you need to know is they don't let you out of the Jeep. Like you're in a Jeep the entire time looking through the windows and the top of the Jeep actually pops up. So it's like a canopy. So you stand up and as they drive around, you're standing up looking out. So you don't actually get out with the animals. Though I will tell you, when you camp in the Serengeti, you actually camp in tents and the animals do come by you. And we had a hippo by us that was bumping into our tent. And oh yeah, we had Liam, when we tell you, there was a cheetah on our porch. So that was a little, like that night we did not sleep very well. But it was really an amazing time. Usagi, hey, good night from in Malaysia, buddy. But that was a little tough the second night. The first night we were camping, there was no problem. Second night, we had all the animals around. Even the workers at the camp, we were at last night we had a lot of animals at the camp. So there was kind of funny. But it was really, it was an amazing experience, but a scary experience all at the same time. And I highly recommend it. If you're going to go to the Serengeti, you can always stay in camps there, or you can stay outside the park at one of the lodges, and that's kind of a long way to go. So that would be one thing to look at. So Charlie McIntosh writes, what's the best country to visit in Eastern Europe? Okay, first off, you have to be careful what you define as Eastern Europe. Because for Americans, Eastern Europe is usually considered behind the Iron Curtains. That was like, East Germany, Poland, Hungary, Slovakia, Ukraine, former Soviet Union. That's what a lot of Americans kind of consider Eastern Europe. Whereas in Europe, they'll more consider nowadays, like Eastern Europe is like Ukraine, Belarus, way over there, maybe Lithuania, something like that. So that would be one thing. But if we look for the old U.S. Cold War version, like Eastern Europe kind of stuff, like for cities, Prague, Budapest, Bratislava, easy ones to do. You can throw in Vienna, which is more that we always consider Central Europe, and those are all kind of considered Central Europe now. But I would definitely do those. Going farther east, I like actually if you go to Romania and you go to the former Transylvania part of it, that is beautiful. Like I really like that area there to check out. If you want to go to like former Soviet republics, the Estonia, Tallinn's probably the prettiest city in the Baltics, but you can't go wrong in Riga or Vilnius either. So there's a lot of stuff to see over there. So you have that. Let's see. Ooh. So for those of you who don't know, when you see this thing over here, your feed may keep going, but the one that I get, it shows like 5 or 10 of them, and then it jumps like 15 up. So if I miss some of them, I apologize. Yes, Odessa and Kiev are also really good ones to go see. Lviv I've never been to, but I heard it's really good. I had some students from there that were always asking me to visit, so we'll have that. The Swedish Traveler, Wolters, have you been to any festivals? Yes, I've been to Luxembourg's main festival, which is this weekend, actually. I was there a few years ago for that. We're just missing it this year. Sadly, we're going to be there when it's like 100 degrees outside, so we're skipping the festival and coming for a heat wave. But we're just missing that. Been to Oktoberfest, Osterwiese, the Easter Festival in Bremen. We've been to Christmas markets all over, wine festivals, beer festivals, all kinds of stuff. If there's any festivals nearby, we like to kind of go and change that. JF, my shirt says, if you cannot climb it, drink it. It's Kilimanjaro Premium Lager. It's a beer in Tanzania. And I had a few of them when I was there, so that was kind of nice. Lushy asks, is there any food you recommend to eat in Amsterdam? Actually, in Amsterdam, I really like the street food and stuff like that. So if you're sticking with the street food, you're going to be fine when you're there. There's these little puffy pancake kind of things you'll see, which are really good. There's also, I like they're called bitterballen. It's a meatball, like bitter balls, bitterballen, and they're really good with a little mustard. That's like a meatball, like definitely one of the things to have when you're here. You can also, there's a bunch of shops that will sell like pre-cooked food, like in a little window, and you put the coins in and then pull it open and grab it out. Always a fun time. Matthew Lindsay, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. That $2. Yes. So he's saying, come to Asheville, North Carolina, Beer City, USA. I will be honest with people, if you're looking for some good beer in the U.S., and I know it's sacrilegious to say good beer in the U.S. in a lot of places, but honestly, just like anywhere in the world now, craft beer is a huge industry, and there's a lot of really great small breweries there, and bigger breweries in Asheville. Even some of the big U.S. brewers are making new manufacturing facilities there because the water in Asheville is fantastic. And I remember the first time I went there, it's probably been, 12 years ago now, because like when we would drive from Illinois down to Georgia, we'd go down like the Nashville way on the way down, but then we'd come back through Asheville, or vice versa, because we had friends in North Carolina. We'd always stop there and have a few beers and enjoy it. So it's a really cool city to check out. So definitely worth checking out and drinking the beer there. So thank you for the super chat, Matthew. I really appreciate it. I can't say it. Sorry, I can't read this really anymore. But what are the foods to eat in Africa? Well, Africa's a big Africa's a big continent. Can you tell I'm on like 0 hours of sleep? Or no, I did get an hour nap this morning over the last 36 hours. Basically, what we had a lot of times when you're there, if you're doing like safaris and stuff like that, usually you're staying at lodges or camps, and so they provide you meals, a little more international kind of stuff like that. But like Tanzania, you have a lot of rice, pilau, which is like rice, like spiced rice. It's more of a holiday dish, but it's still really good. Spiced rice with meat, like chicken or beef. Like chicken, beef, and rice. That's a big thing there. Bananas is also big in Tanzania. You might have cooked bananas with meat or veggies. That's nice. With meat. Sorry. There's another one that's like maize or like corn and beans mixed together. That's another popular one you have there. Rwanda. If you're a vegetarian, I'm telling you, if you're looking for a good place to go eat and travel in Africa, check out Rwanda, because a lot of people there actually are vegetarian because it's economically advantageous to be a vegetarian over like a meat eater, a carnivore there, and so they have some spectacular vegetarian dishes. We ate so well in Rwanda; it was amazing. There is that, so that is kind of cool. Luca Boss, Utrecht's a beautiful city. Yes, it is a very beautiful city, Luca. Have you seen the big dome church? I have seen it. I haven't gone in yet. We got in here. We got in like a couple hours ago. Like, basically, we got in. The boys are upstairs. We're like, go ahead, just relax upstairs. They're upstairs on the stairwells like this. So they're upstairs. My dad's laying over on the couch taking a nap and checking his internet stuff right now. And my mom and Jocelyn are out, and they got their hair got their hair washed, and they're out shopping and stuff like that. So they're having a good time helping out the Dutch economy, because we like to help out the economies everywhere we go. We did buy a lot of stuff when we were in Africa too. There's a lot of really cool things. And what's cool is you actually see people making the stuff right there. You're not thinking, well, is it made in, where's it made, or who's actually getting the money? There's enough places where you go, you actually see people making the stuff. So you know when you're giving the money over. And you always negotiate, but like you negotiate, you give the money over, it's going straight to them, so that's really kind of a cool thing. Let's see. Next up, Swedish Traveler. What do you think about the country of Georgia? I don't know. We're shooting to go there next year, so I will let you know next year when I do get there. Yeah, that one. Africa's big. Africa is a big continent. Yeah, like I said, my morning's going a little right now, so I apologize for that. And my things are flashing up real now, so I'm trying to scroll back to find some people. JLF3, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it, buddy. Your if you have any questions, make sure you put them through so I can try to answer them. So Grant B asks, do you have any recommendations for a place to visit in Europe in March? So one of the things I would say, if you're looking to travel, March, April, early May, and this, like from the 15th of September through October are great times to travel Europe, pretty much anywhere, because a lot of times, well, a lot of times you're going to have significantly cheaper flights from anywhere around the world to get there because the kids are back in school, so people aren't taking their kids out, so there's not the hotels easy to get into. There's shorter lines at the places, and you'll see that even on I see it on my video views. Like our views in the spring, leading up in the summer, are really huge. But in the fall, no one's thinking about travel. I'm thinking we're back to school. It's fall time. The holidays are going to be coming, kind of stuff, and so so no one's really traveling, so it's a really good time to go. So if there's a city or a country you want to go to that's really popular, maybe try it that time. But I will say though, in March, like places like Greece and holiday destinations in Croatia and stuff like that might be a bit tougher to get to because the ferries might not be as often. The cheap airlines don't fly at those times. They might only be July, August, or June, July, August. So you want to check those things out. But pretty much anywhere you want to go, you'd be okay. Okay, Bryson Schultz. Any experience crossing land borders in South America? I'll be traveling from Medellin to Cusco this fall without flying. So, Bryson, I've had good and bad experiences, but always take it with a grain of salt and have some money in your pocket just in case you might need to drop some on the floor, if you catch my meaning. I've had, I still remember, one time I was going back and forth from Chile to Argentina, and the border guys are really jokers, and so we had a good time laughing back and forth. I'm like, I don't know what that magazine is. I write it for the articles, and they're like, haha, yes, I do too. And so they're pretty good. They're pretty good spirited. They're pretty honest with it. When I was going into Paraguay, I did get shook down when I was there, so that was one thing. That was one thing that got there. But overall, it wasn't really too much of an issue, so you should be okay. Let's see. Sorry, I just got about 50 texts of the exact same thing from somebody. So, Farang Travels, what's your favorite Asian destination? Sadly, I haven't been to a lot of Asia yet. We're going to work on that. We're trying to expand more out because I know we have tons of Europe videos, and we've been really so we started out doing a lot of Europe videos, and then we started doing US videos, and then Central America, South America, Latin America is really close to my heart, and I really love it down there. I used to live down there. My dad worked down there, so it's really something really important to me. So that's why we really spend time. I've been to a lot more countries, but videos-wise, we got Brazil, Argentina, Peru, Ecuador, where else? Central America, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Belize, Guatemala. So I'm trying to get that because I saw there's very few bloggers and vloggers that go down there and that are really honest about what they see and want you to have a good time. And it's more like scaring people, or look how backwards it is or something like that. I'm like, no, man, there's awesome people. Go and enjoy it. And so we're trying to do that more. Now we're branching off into Africa. I want to do more in Asia to help people feel more excited and more comfortable with it, because I feel if we take our kids, people see it's okay to take their kids, and we're taking the grandparents to East Africa and stuff like that. So maybe it'll help people know that it's okay to travel the world. You don't just have to go to London every year or go to Disney everywhere. You can go try some other stuff. So Pishti, Maldives, Dubai, Istanbul. Maldives, that's the one. All my friends go there. That's a big, if you're looking for a romantic place, it's a big romantic destination. Jocelyn and I are trying to get there. Dubai, I think we might be going in January as a family, just for a week to Dubai, because I want to get there. I've never been there, so I want to check that out. In Istanbul is for next summer. We're going there. So I'll have those ones for you. Michael Mon, hey, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. Michael writes, love the Instagram photos of Africa. I'm really looking forward to the videos. Great family adventure, and I agree. Rwanda is an awesome country. Yeah, so if you want to see some of our pictures, go to Instagram. If you look up here, just go to @WoltersWorld on Instagram, and it'll pop up there. And then Jocelyn has better ones, because I was using the nice camera, so that can't Instagram, so I'd only take out my phone occasionally. But Jocelyn got some really good photos while we were traveling. I mean, it's just amazing. Jocelyn Wolters. Sorry, I'm typing this in. All right, so I got mine. All right, so there you go. There's mine, and there's Jocelyn. If you want to see some of our some of our pictures from there, and so what Michael's talking about. But no, I mean, it was such an amazing experience there. It was so much fun. Pishti, no prom. Yeah, we got those. We got those all planned. That's great. But the thing is a lot of times people ask us how often we travel. We do travel a lot, but whenever I travel by myself, I don't really ever post anything because I don't want people like Jocelyn's home alone with the kids or stuff like that. So I don't really put too much out there. That's why we haven't really done a lot on Instagram because of that. Because a lot of times I do travel by myself. So, or Jocelyn might travel by herself and she's worried if I'm home alone with the kids. So we do those things. So that's one of those things there. But we do put up pictures. And I think what I'm going to start doing when I get back later this summer is I'm going to start putting up older pictures so you can see and have basically like here's a site and here's a couple tips. So because like a lot of the Instagrammers or the influencers you'll see on Instagram and stuff like that, they just like have a picture and I'm in a flowy dress or my thing here and I'm doing my backflip. What I think I want to do is have a picture of the place you might want to go and you say, look, there's our family there, or there's me there, there's the site, and then maybe give a tip or two there. So it's kind of like, it's not just a pretty picture, it's also a pretty picture with some help. So that's what we're going to try to work on this summer. So we'll be trying to fix that from there. Starlet Fuse. Hi, Professor. I'm from Trinidad, which is a Caribbean island. I know one of my good co-workers. He's from Trinidad. He takes students there every year. So he comes to my class, and I'm always trying to hype students up to go there, and they always have a good time. It's always warm here, but in November I'll be going to Prague, which is cold. I'm wondering when on the trip do I dress for the cold? Okay, so if you're coming from Trinidad and you're going to Prague, you're going to be cold every day. I'm just letting you know right now. You'll be cold every day. So be careful with that one. So I would just come dress warm. Just come dress warm. I mean, I was there last November or the November before, and I mean, I was wearing, I wasn't in my full winter gear. Like, you don't expect snow, but do have enough stuff so you're covered up. Okay. Oh, Chad Williamson, thank you very much for the super chat. Planning a trip to Thailand next year and recommendations on time of year. What you are planning on flying with foreign airlines like Ava Air? So I've flown with Ava Air. They weren't too bad. I was on Precision Air in Tanzania. It wasn't too bad. People have hit and miss. Just kind of adjust your expectations in terms of service and timing and stuff like that. But I hadn't had any problem with Ava Air, so there is that. Thailand, do not go during rainy season. That's one of the things that's really held us back, because rainy season starts like mid-May, late May, early June, around then, and the kids got to school at that time. So it's kind of hard. So make sure you're looking, because like southern Thailand and northern Thailand might have different rainy seasons. So see those things out there, but like you might want to do it like in December or January, February might be a better time than going in like May, June. So I hope that helps you out. Lana James, thank you very much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. That's very nice. Let's see. Oh, someone wrote, who would want to do harm to you, her, or your kids? Tony, you'll be surprised how many strange people there are on the internet. Back in the day when I first started out, we used to get a lot more death threats and stuff like that. As much as YouTube has problems with trolls and stuff like that, it's a lot better than it used to be. I would have to ban, block, hide user all the time, because stuff would get really bad. Like, people would be like, I'm going to the R word your wife, and I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? And like, there's just some really weirdos out there. So and there's been some bad things that have happened to YouTubers. So like, a lot of people ask, hey, are you guys going to do a meetup? I'm like, I would love to do a meetup. And I actually bump into a lot of our fans going around. You actually see some of our Instagram feed, you'll see some pictures of them when we're going around. But then sometimes I'm like, I don't want to take any chances. Like, someone was asked, well, we're going to have a meetup in Amsterdam. Like, maybe, but maybe not, just because we're with the kids too. So there are too many things that happen that I just kind of worry. Not that I think any of you are going to do anything wrong. It's not you guys. It's other things happen. So there's that. Mike James, thank you very much for the super chat. I really appreciate it, buddy. Thank you so much. Also to Jose Bonet, thank you. Appreciate it. The super chat, my friend. If you have any questions, please send them over. Let's see, Cabo or Cancun? Okay, so if you're trying to, who wrote this one? Mike Jones. Oh, there you are. Hey, works out. So Cabo or Cancun? So Cabo is more like you're going to go party and stay in your resort kind of stuff. Cancun is you're going to party, stay in your resort, but there's Mayan ruins you can go see. And that's one thing that's really cool. The Mayan ruins, there, Chichen Itza and Coba and Tulum. There's so many other things to see there. I actually like Cancun better. That's why I have a lot of videos on Cancun and not anything on Coba or on Cabo yet. But we will get to Cabo. I need to get there, but I think we're probably going to hit Mexico City first, because we have so many fans in Mexico City. There's actually a VidCon next year in Mexico City, and I was going to go to the VidCon this summer in LA, But I think after 7 weeks, 8 weeks of traveling, I might need to just, I mean, because it was like I get home and it starts like 2 days later. So I might just end up staying home instead because you see these bags in my eyes, they're not going away unless I get some sleep. That I need to get back on my exercise routine. I've lost 35 pounds, so I gotta get back on that so I can keep being healthy and keep on traveling for everybody. So Jocelyn writes, I wish I could share your videos, but they're copyrighted. You can share a YouTube video. There's a button down below. Click share, and you can share it on any of your social media feeds. You can do that. That's fine. But re-uploading, that actually hurts your YouTubers. If you like YouTubers and you reshare their stuff, that actually gets you in trouble with YouTube. And if you have you're associated with it, they track that, and so you don't want to do those things. Wolters World, that one. You should take the kids to Wallaby if you were in the Netherlands. It's the rebranded Dutch Six Flags. Ooh, it has some good stuff. Well, a few weeks ago, we were just at Gardaland down in Italy. So maybe I'll ask the boys. Maybe we can do that tomorrow or Monday. I'll check it out. Thank you for that. Jimmy UK, Mark, drink some Red Bull. No, I'll drink whatever this is. There we go. Android, should I go to Sweden for a blonde girl? You just find the girl that's right for you. She will show up when you're least expecting it, so don't worry. I found Jocelyn when I was least expecting it. I was actually Jocelyn and I started talking like in the dating way just because she was looking to move to Greece, and I was trying to help her get her visa for there. And next thing you know, we're married, and there's a couple kids. We got all this stuff, so there's a lot of stuff out there. Hey, and if you've sent questions by and I have not answered them, I do apologize. They go by so quickly, and when I'm answering them, they just pop by. So just don't feel bad if you want to put your question back in, so I can try to get it. I'm not trying to be rude because I see some people get really upset, like, why aren't you answering my questions? I'm like, I'm trying to, but there's so many questions and so many people I want to help, and then I get on these tangents and keep talking. Can you tell there's a lack of sleep here? So Lucas Gardner, is Chinisaw worth traveling to? I do not know this place, so I can't tell you one way or the other, so I don't think that's going to be a helpful thing. Shubham Sharma, hi Mark, China or Japan for vegans? Japan, because Japan tracks everything. It's a lot easier to know what you're getting, and everything's so clean there. It's unbelievable, man. Japan was like next level amazing, so you'll have a good time there. Jocelyn, we're trying to go to Dubai in January, so that's our plan for now. Cynthia Marmol, headed to Paris and Italy in September. The tips have truly been eye-opening and so helpful. I appreciate your style, sharing your family's experiences. Can't wait to see your next adventure. Thank you, Cynthia. That's really nice of you. And for those of you who don't know, if you have YouTubers you follow, comments like that really mean a lot to us, because then we hear that we're actually helping other travelers, we're helping other people, we're entertaining people, and it keeps us going. Because some days you're like, I don't want to film any more videos. I just will lay in bed. I'm like, nah, I can go out and make some more. So like yesterday, I was filming What to Know Before You Come to Tanzania, and I had forgot my camera and our Jeep, and I didn't have my stuff, but I was this beautiful view, and I'm like, you know what, screw it. Let's put it together just so we can help some people. So they were going to go to Zanzibar or Serengeti. Let's let them know some of the things they need to know. And so I just put my camera up there, filmed it, and it's cool. It didn't focus on me so much, but what was cool is as I'm filming, the sun's coming up, so you start seeing the lake more and more. So it starts off with a dark background, and it finishes with the whole sun. It's just a really cool thing. So trying to do that. Anyway, Mike Jones, Whataburger or In-N-Out? I like Whataburger better, to be honest. In-N-Out. Well, In-N-Out, Shake Shack. Well, actually, all the burger places. I'll be honest, I like all the burger places. Obviously, I don't get a fantastic figure like this without that. But I spent a lot of time in Texas when I was a kid, and my dad worked in Mexico, so we went down there a lot, through that. So, Whataburger is in my heart. I liked In-N-Out Burger. My wife likes In-N-Out Burger better than Whataburger. I like Whataburger better. But for me, if anyone was in my class, they know I'm a Culver's man. Even Scoopy, their mascot, came to my class this year and surprised me. The VP of marketing of Culver's and Scoopy, because I talk about him so much in my class, and she's also a graduate from where I teach. She came and they surprised me on stage in my 8 o'clock class. I'm like, wait a minute, that's the VP of marketing for Culver's and their mascot. So it's pretty funny. So there is that. Candy 1230, which city's better, Boston or New Orleans? Man, you can't go wrong with either one. I gotta say that you'll have a good time in both of them. You have probably a better adult time in New Orleans, but they both have a ton of history, and both of them, you don't realize, actually have a lot of good stuff for kids too. I know New Orleans doesn't have that reputation for it, but that's more the French Quarter. But either one will be good. I would, based on the time of the year, if it's a hot month, go to Boston. If it's a cold month, go to New Orleans. So there's that. No problem. I'm glad I can reply to some of these questions. Anushka Pansari, any plans on visiting India? Yes, we do have. I don't know if it's 2021 right now, because India, we don't want to do like a 1 week trip. We want to do like a bigger trip, like a month or at least 3 weeks, because excuse me, it's such a huge country with so many diverse people and diverse places. Like, as you know, the South versus North versus Goa versus whatever. I don't want to just like pop in and get my Instagram picture in front of the Taj Mahal and then leave. No, we want to learn a culture more. So we're trying to find a window when we have time with the kids with school. And now that Caleb is getting older, he's going to be in 7th grade, which for those who've been following us for a long time, remember when he was this little kid like jumping down top of me. 7th grade now, like math and stuff like that's getting a little more serious. So we could take him out of school more, but I don't want to. I want to keep him in school. So it's getting tougher to plan some of these bigger trips. So we'll see. Mike Jones, Houston or Dallas, which city do you like more? I like the Dallas football team better, but I think Houston's probably a more fun city to visit. No, Christine, Spain or Ireland? You can't go wrong. I mean, just flip a coin. You'll be happy on either one. Patty Hornick, Paris or Brussels? Paris, 1,000 times over. Brussels is probably like number 10. I'm actually going to talk about this in my Brussels videos I'm filming this week when I go back to Bruges. Brussels is like the number 8 or 9 city to visit when you go to Belgium, because there's so many other Bruges, Antwerp, Ghent. There's so many other nice things. So many small villages. Go to Ebers, stuff like that to see the history, the World War I battlefields. Really a cool thing. Let's see. Hawaiian Island, Jordan's here. Sylvester, I have not been to Hawaii yet, but we have friends that want to go with us. So maybe we will be getting there in the future. So that's nice. Perry Place, Switzerland, besides the cost. Switzerland, I mean, if money doesn't matter, that place is probably the most gorgeous place in the world with the mountains and the lakes and stuff like that. It is really cool. Not so cool with kids, but it's still really cool. Wonderful place to visit. I can't say anything bad about it if you go there. I mean, the food's good. The food's good. The service is professional. I'd say that. But the when you're going through you can do like canyoning and rafting and all kinds of good stuff. So that's nice. Let's see some more question here. Jeremy Lyles, any plans to come back to Montreal? Yes. I think we might do like a December winter thing. We might do a Quebec City and Montreal. We might be this year. It's up in the air right now, but that was one of the things we're kind of talking about. Yes, David Etchels, you like good beer than Brussels. Heck, if you like good beer, anywhere in Belgium's good. Their beer is fantastic. Let's see where else. Who else is up? So Tao Torres, I'm in Berlin for the first time to study abroad. That's awesome. That's where I get my master's. It's an amazing city. Came from Orlando. This is my first time traveling abroad. I'm glad hopefully our channel can help you with Berlin. Has some currywurst for me. Go out and enjoy the tons and tons of awesome nightlife that's there. Because, I mean, you already know that. You don't need me to tell you that. You already know that. So there is that. Here's a good question. Frednick9603. Pocket Wi-Fi or replacement SIM card for Europe tour? So what I usually do, the pocket Wi-Fi, usually it's about $10 a day. And you can get like 5 people on the device. So that's nice. Make sure the countries you're going to go to are covered, because I had a company that gave me one to use in Europe a couple summers ago, and they're like, oh yeah, everywhere you'll be fine. I told where I'm going to go, and they're like, oh, whoops, we're sorry, Russia wasn't covered. I have like a $300 bill on my cell phone because it like was connecting the other way, and I'm like, guys, come on, what the hell? And so that was really frustrating. So make sure it's going to cover where you're going to go. The SIM one, make sure you have your card will take non-SIM cards, because you bought like an AT&T phone or a T-Mobile phone. It might be locked to that. And so you want to make sure it can be unlocked. Now, there's some devices you can buy that will give you a SIM card and it hooks up with Bluetooth. So there could be that. So you might want to look into those. Jose Bonet, or Jose Bonnet. Sorry, I don't know. Hey, Wolters, traveling to Lisbon next week. Oh, cool. You have a good time. Oh, you're going to miss the festivals. They're already done. My question is the Lisbon card worth it? I plan to take a lot of public transportations and museums. So the Lisbon card's not too expensive, but nothing in Lisbon is really expensive. So it's kind of up to you. I've never got it. But I also lived there for a long time. Basically, any of these like Lisbon cards, Barcelona cards, Paris cards, London cards, whatever, is basically think of it as a glorified transportation ticket. So you don't have to buy multiple ones, and that's going to cover for that. And if you're going to see probably 4 museums or more, then it probably will be worth it to do it. Okay. Shakes, if you like beer pretty much anywhere in Europe, yeah, I can't argue with that. That's some good logic right there, my friend. See, hey Walters, going to Sevilla next week. What's the biggest must do? Okay, so you got to walk up the tower in there. You want to walk. The cathedral is the most important thing. You're going in there and you walk up the tower and have the great view of the city when you are there. If you're actually looking for like a fun little thing, Isla Magica is a amusement park that's there. It's a nice, easy little one to go to. It's a nice European little amusement park. It's good for all ages. So there's something to give you something to do for the afternoon or something like that. So that's nice. So there's that. Cretan 4K, Chernobyl, we want to go. Any advice? Well, thank you for the super chat, first off. Chernobyl, we want to go. Any advice? Also going to Italy next year with the kids. So maybe don't take the kids to Chernobyl. I won't lie to you about that. It might not be a good idea. I actually met a lot of people that lived by Chernobyl in Belarus when I was in Lithuania. And so there was those things there. And the thing is, there's like this kind of horror or like not horror tourism, but like shock tourism kind of place. Like Chernobyl is really popular right now because the TV show and stuff like that. I think it's on Netflix. So people really want to go there, and you can go there. I mean, it's very minimal exposure and stuff like to see it. I mean, you're putting money into the economy there where nothing's happening, so there is that. And it could be something to see because it does lead to conversation like, hey, what about nuclear power? What about the ramifications of meltdowns and stuff like this? Because there's serious conversations. It's the same reason why I say, look, you should go to the concentration camps to learn what happened, because otherwise we're doomed. If we don't learn from history, we're doomed to repeat it. You know, when you go to Rwanda, you go to the genocide memorials, you know, and see what happened there. But like, oh my God, how did this happen? Like, how the people like gotten past this and reunified? And it's really one of those things. I mean, do it, go for it. Next year with the kids, Italy. Yeah, Italy's great with kids. You'll be fine there, no worries at all. Cameron, Kieran, have you flown with Swiss Air? I have. They were good. Jocelyn really likes them, but we still are big Delta people, so you know that. Okay, sorry. Starlet's back. Hi again. I meant to, do I dress for the cold from Trinidad on the plane when I land in Poland? Not sure when I'll have the chance and when it's too early, too late. So what I would do when you're flying out, like wear a pair of jeans and just have a jacket with you. And like you can just carry on your jacket onto the plane and do that. That might be easier because then when you get there, you can throw your jacket on in case your luggage gets lost. That's all I ever really do. Mike Jones, thank you again for another super chat. That's very nice. Ryan going to Wilmington, any advice? If you want to sit on the lawn for a bit, go do it. Have the strawberries and cream. It is a great experience. I mean, I've been outside listening, and it's just amazing. I've been in London. I remember I was watching one of the Federer-Nadal finals, and I was at a bus stop. And I just sat at the bus stop with everybody else, and there was the TVs in the window. And it was on everywhere. It was a final. And we just sat there. I mean, I probably sat there for 2 hours just watching the bus stop with people watching the final. Wimbledon really brings people out of the walls for tennis, especially when you're in London. So that is cool. Let's see. Mike Jones, Delta's the best airlines, hand down. Hey, I can't disagree with that. We love them. And they don't pay us. I wish they would, but they don't. Maybe one day. Who knows? Let's see. Hi. Okay, Ryan Dubovsky. Hi, I wonder why people never mention Corsica. What a beautiful island to go to. I think Corsica and Sardinia kind of fall into the same kind of like, what am I supposed to know from there? And so the thing is, if there's not like one thing people can identify with, and this is where the Instagrammers have really helped tourism, because they'll go get that Instagram picture, like there's a town in Morocco that's all blue, the blue city, and so all the Instagrammers go there. So now people are going like crazy because they've seen the pictures of the blue city, so they want to get a picture of that, so they know there's something they should see. And I think Corsica and Sardinia, there's not like a thing. You know, like Sicily, oh, there's the mob, there's Palermo, there's the Valley of the Temples to see. But like when you say Corsica, you're like, isn't that where Napoleon was from? And you say Sardinia, it's like, wait, don't they eat food like in Portugal? I mean, people don't know. I think that's why it doesn't get mentioned sometimes. But they're both great. And like you have a lot less tourists going to those, so you do have that. So that's very nice. Let's see. Next up. Jocelyn, have you ever been to Tenerife, Mark? Yes, I have. I went there for Christmas, 99. I will not be going back. That's all I'm going to say on that one. Gustavo, no, Africa wasn't rough for me. Africa was so much fun that we just had fun all the time. So we were up every morning going and doing stuff and just meeting people and going to villages and meeting new people and the animals. And so it was that I didn't sleep for the last 2 weeks because it's been so much fun. And then, overnight flight. And I'm one of those people that no matter what happens, I can't sleep on a plane. So that does happen. My phone, my computer just beeped at me, so I'm going to have to get the charger here for a sec. Let's see. Okay, Tyler, cool guy. Hey, wait, I haven't heard from you in a while. Good to have you back. What is the top thing that annoys you while on the airplane the most? Um, I think people that are inconsiderate to the other travelers. For example, we were flying today. The people in front of us were very nice, but they had leaned their seats all the way back, which, hey, they let you do that. I'm cool with that. But then it was time to eat, and even before they eat, they were already sitting like forward like this to watch their show. I'm like, why don't you just put your seat back up? And so a lot of people just forget to put their seat back up. So that kind of inconsiderate kind of things like that. Especially when it's mealtime, put your seat up because a lot of times there's no room. And it's not just because I'm fat. I mean, for skinny people, it can be a problem too. So I think that's one of the things that bothers me. And people that go to the bathroom with no shoes on. Oh, gross. Just please put your shoes on, please. Eduardo Coelho, have you got any plans to go to Portugal again? I'm Portuguese. Yes, there's always plans to go back to Portugal. We try to get back at least every other year or every third year because Liam was born there, so we always like to take him back to get him back with it. We were just there in November, again, seeing friends. It was great to be back. So I might be teaching a course in social media marketing there for a college or university there for like a short-term course next summer. So hopefully I can be back for that, so it'll be fun. Let's see. Rohit, Mark, I'm going to Prague for the first time. Any tips? Dude, just put up Prague, Wolters World on YouTube. I've got so many tips on there. You'll be fine, but eat the duck. That's all I'm going to say. Eat the duck and have a beer. They're really good. Okay, Laura Rogers. Have been to Disney Resort Cruises and Out of America Disney Park. Have you ever been here? Baltic Amish Dollar Forest. No, I haven't been there. Sorry. But thank you for the super chat. The Disney resorts are good if you got kids and they're into Disney, they're the age for Disney, it can be good. But also a lot of people don't realize that Disney's actually very popular for honeymoons and couples to go to. So there is that too. The Disney cruises, people like Disney, they love the cruises. Our kids aren't Disney kids. They're not huge Disney fans. They're more like Six Flags rides kind of stuff, Cedar Point kind of people. So for us, it's not worth it. But I know I know a lot of friends that just love Disney stuff. So like you're into Disney, you'll love their cruise because I mean Disney is legit. I mean Disney is all about the experience. They want you to have that Disney branded experience where you're like, this is a family experience. And I really had a good time, and I don't mind that I spent so much money. But you spend the money to make sure you have that good time. So it works out. Let's see that one. Walters Road, you're not fat. You're slim compared to me. Fist bump. Do you do meetups? Would like to meet you in the Netherlands at some point. So I was talking about this before. We haven't really done any meetups. Like we randomly bump into fans. We do that sometimes. And sometimes I'll meet up with a fan or two that we've talked to a lot over times. Like my buddy Spencer Pablo in San Diego. He's a photographer there. Super cool dude. And I was there. And so we met up and did some stuff. But there's been too many like bad things that happen to YouTubers at meetups that I kind of worry. Because we used to get, especially like in Germany and stuff, we used to get a lot of death threats. So I'm always a little wary. And I just haven't done so much yet. I mean, eventually I'm sure we will, but I haven't done any yet. So let's see. JLF3, Mark, love your old school OG Regensburg video. Have you back since? So that video is back when I would like put the camera up and just talk and pray that things didn't fall over. Yeah, no, I've been back a few times since then. Regensburg, if you're looking for a good day trip from Munich, or if you're going to be going at a busy time, you don't want to stay in Munich, you want to stay outside. Regensburg's a really nice town. I still like Bamberg better, but Regensburg is a great place to visit in Bavaria. So there is that. Oh, dang. The rest of your question just disappeared. It just jumped up like 10 things. Sorry. Let's see. British Aussie lover. Why would people send death threats? Well, a lot of times what will happen is like because I used to do a lot of the love and hates videos, and anytime you say hate, like, oh, you hate my country, you're a piece of crap, and why don't you talk about your own country? I'm like, well, we have videos on our own country. I have videos on my own city. Just people are crazy sometimes, so you just gotta be careful with it. So Brent asks, Mark, have you ever been to Birmingham, England, or Ebers, Belgium? Birmingham, I've been on the outskirts. I've not been inside, like in the center, so I can't say anything about that. But Ypres, Belgium. If you guys know Ypres, Belgium, Ypres was completely wiped off the face of the earth during the First World War, Second World War. I mean, it was just completely gone. And they've actually rebuilt the city to look just like it is. And you'll see the signs, built in 1945, built in 1946. Like, that's when they started rebuilding. Like, you don't realize, like, wow, the city that looks like it's 1,000 years old is actually probably older than your parents. So it's kind of an interesting kind of thing. Gustavo, I've noticed 5 people consistently dislike your videos. Yes, people will dislike our videos. And the thing is, there's people that will actually subscribe to channels just to dislike them. It could be like, former students of mine that don't like me. There are some of those. It could be, other people that don't want your videos to do well, or just maybe somebody like, I don't like that you said something bad about my country, so I'm going to make sure everything looks bad. So these things do happen. And yes, people are a little messed up, buddy. Anyway, let's see. What is happening in the room you are in? Oh, my dad's playing with all this stuff, so there's the snapping sound, stuff like that. My battery's getting low, so I'm going to have to get a plug here real quick. Let's see. Summit Best Natural Wonder. Whew. Man, in Europe, the Dolomite Mountains, seeing those in Italy is unbelievable. The Amalfi Coast in Italy is great. Switzerland, going through the Alps there is fantastic. Lagos, Portugal, going down there and going through the grottos through there. I think going through the hills of Rwanda is just a next level kind of thing. Ngorongoro Crater in Tanzania was a cool. Pretty much anywhere in Brazil. I like Bonito, Brazil, but Mato Grosso do Sul, that part of Brazil, I think is just gorgeous as well. So there is that. Jocelyn, you're a trustworthy face. Travel videos, Mark. The beard indicates trust, in my opinion. Well, I'm glad, because trust me, this thing is, after 2 weeks of dust, it needs to get cleaned out real quick. See, I'm going to answer another question and grab a plug while we're doing this. Oh, BD, that's really nice. So BD says, not trying to kiss your butt. Thank you. I don't think there's ever been a friendlier, nicer YouTuber. We appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much. So hold on, people. I'll talk as I'm getting a plug. I just have to figure out where my plug went, because we just flew back. So we just flew back. So I got to take out, all the fun stuff, like separate your stuff. Oh, for my friend Spencer Pablo, look, I have a camera case finally. This is my camera case I have now. And if you'd like to see my old-fashioned camera case, it's a Ziploc bag. That's how OG I am. So I'm like, they survived. It'll be fine. So there's my plug. We got that. All right, sorry. It's at like 4%, so I don't want to lose y'all. Now I've got to find a plug. So one thing I'll say is when you do travel, when you have these, you notice behind me, there's just one plug here in this wall. A lot of times you only have one plug. So I always bring a plug that has the plug here, but also at least two. I have another one the kids have it upstairs that has 4 USB plugs. Have those. Makes your life so much easier when you travel, especially with multiple devices. So I do that. All right, we have power. I'm not going to get kicked off. Cool. Let's see. Oh. All right, moving stuff around. Let's get back to questions. Bear Grylls, did you ever get high on your travels? No, I partake in liquid entertainment. That's all I do. So there is that. Let's see. Oh, Lost Expat Bird Digs, the shadiest experience you had. Well, there was the time I was shook down by the militia, the cops in St. Petersburg. There was a time we were shook down in Paraguay-Argentina border. What else? There was a time when I was in Mexico and we had to hop into back of a truck to get out of someplace. So there's been a few of those interesting experiences. None of them have happened since with the kids. I think since the kids and Jocelyn haven't really been too much stuff. But I've also learned what to watch out for, because that's the thing is you don't start off knowing a lot of travel stuff. You just learn from your experiences, and that's why I want to make these videos so I can help other people learn from our mistakes, so you guys don't make those. Because I don't want anybody else showing up at a border in Paraguay and they're like, you can't go through, because you don't realize when you go in from Brazil, into Paraguay, they're like, oh, you don't need a stamp, because most of the time they think you're just going in for the day to Ciudad del Este to go buy stuff and leave. So you don't need a stamp or a visa, you'll be fine. When in reality, they know that if you are going to stay, they're going to get you on the way out. So make sure you always get your stamps. Always check those things out, okay? Because there is that. Let's see. Mo Plains. Worst airline? I don't know the worst airline. I just know airlines that I kind of avoid. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with low-cost airlines, because low-cost airlines have really been wonderful for tourism and travel, because it's opened up the world to pretty much almost everybody. Think about it. 20 years ago, you only got to travel to Europe if you're mega rich or something like that. Now, there's cheap flights. You can get anywhere. You can go travel. Now it's cheaper. When I lived in Lisbon, it was cheaper for me to fly to Rome than it was for me to take the train from Lisbon to Porto. Okay? And so that really changed everything. But I think a lot of times there's a lot of people who have sacrificed service and quality for a cheap fare. Look, I don't care they treat me like garbage. I'm only paying 10 euros or 20 bucks for this ticket. And then what happens is that brings down all the service standards. You've seen that a lot of the airlines. They're charging more for stuff and these kind of things. So it does get, that's one of those things there. Alexis Waldorf, do you ever get tired of traveling? Yeah. I mean, like right now I'm a little tired, but I'm not tired of traveling yet. I still have a couple more weeks and this is a very long trip. But I'm already thinking, because I was supposed to go to LA for VidCon in July, I think I'm going to cancel that because after all the traveling I had, I'm just like, you know what? I want to stay home, hang out with my family. The kids are out of school. I know we've been spending all this time together traveling, but that's one thing that's great about traveling with your family. It really brings you together. Like we could have some great stories. Like, we all have a bathroom story, right? Like my bathroom story was when I was in Argentina, and it was really probably not safe for work right now, but kind of bathroom experience where I had to go and couldn't anyway. So Caleb had one in Rwanda, and like monkeys came after and started like running after him when he tried to go to the bathroom. So there's those things that just make you laugh and you remember forever. So, but no, sometimes I get a little tired, but usually after about a week home, I'm ready to go again. So it's not too bad. Let's see. Donovan, hey, love your content. Thank you very much. What vacation road trip you recommend in the Midwest U.S.? So what I recommend, you can do it's only a little Route 66, but you go Chicago down to St. Louis. That's the old Route 66. You can stop by. There's some museums along the way too. You can stop by some small towns. You can see where my grandma was from. My dad was born in Carlinville, Illinois. And you go through the square there. But you go Chicago. I think is it Pontiac, Dad, that has the Route 66 museum? Oh, he doesn't have his hearing aids and he can't hear. So there's a Route 66 museum right outside, a little bit down from Chicago. You stop in Springfield, Illinois, see that. Go down to St. Louis. Then from St. Louis, then you switch highways. You go straight down. When you go down, you go by Cape Girardeau. You see a place called home of the Thrilled Roll, Lambert's Cafe. They throw rolls at you across the thing. Good place to eat on your way down south. Then you hit Memphis, great blues music, great barbecue, stuff like that. Then heading down farther south, keep going down. There's Natchez, Mississippi, which has got some beautiful homes there. And you finish off in New Orleans. Like that's a nice Midwest, but it goes down into the south. But that's a pretty good one right there. So I hope that helps. Igor, ever coming to Serbia right now? So 2020 summer right now looks like I might be teaching back in Austria again, and then we're going to go get Serbia, Macedonia, Albania, Bosnia, where else? Turkey and Greece. Like that right now, that's like the first part of the summer is that we're looking at there. So hopefully we get there because we got a lot of people from Serbia have asked us to come. And I feel bad because I do want to go. And last time I was trying to go there was a little incident that happened, so I couldn't go into the country at that time. So kind of missed out, so I do want to get there. So don't worry, Igor, I'll be there. We'll get there. Okay, Gabriel Ace. I'm from Australia. I'm planning my first trip to the U.S. next year for about 3 weeks, hoping to New York, Nashville, maybe Orlando and Texas. Ooh. How much time would you suggest to spend in each city? Now, you're going to think of it this way. You're going to spend 1 day traveling between each one. Just giving yourself the heads up for that one. New York, okay. Well, Texas is a big state. I mean, if you're going to go to Texas, like Austin and San Antonio are kind of close together. And they both are nice to see, so you can just do that area there. I'd probably do like 4 or 5 days. 5 days in New York, 2 or 3 days in Nashville, 3 days in Orlando, 4 or 5 days to see Texas. That'll get you some stuff there, and you can kind of spread it out for that. So hope that helps. It just did the jump up. I was on a roll, and it just jumped up, and they all went by just now. Okay, hi Mark. So Thomas der Eine. Hi, hey Mark, greetings from the Black Forest. Good to see you, my friend, in the Schwarzwald. Been to Poland 100 plus times. Prague or Kiev? Prague. Kiev's cool, but Prague's better. Prague's one of the best cities to visit, I think. Let's see. Sigarin, hi Mark, when you come to visit Singapore, this goes into one of those ones. Singapore and Southeast Asia, we got to figure out a time when we can go when the weather's going to work and the kids are out of school. Because that kind of trip, I want to spend more than just a week flying that far. I want to spend at least 3-4 weeks, maybe 2 months. So I'm trying to figure out how we can pull this one off. So hopefully we can get something there for you. David Eschels, have you been to the Alamo? Yes, I've been to the Alamo multiple times. I have not seen the basement yet. So there is that. Let's see. Read is good. Any tips for people with wheelchair? Okay, so one thing I would say, if you're limited mobility, wheelchair, whatever, there are a lot of around the world. There's a lot of organizations now that are really helping travelers with limited mobility and stuff like that to enjoy places more. So definitely, wherever you're going to go, check out the organization to do that. So they'll have like more specific tips for you. I actually have a video. If you put in like disability travel, Wolters World, or limited mobility, Wolters World into YouTube. I've got like tips for disabled travelers or limited mobility travelers, stuff like that. I've got that. And I've got like my top 10, like what I saw as the top 10 places for limited mobility travelers in Europe. So I have that. Now for other places, South America and Africa, it's significantly more difficult. Well, like Japan is no problem. So there's different places to look out for. In general, I find Northern Europe is easier, more accessible than Southern Europe as well. Gee whiz, are you a Cubs or White Sox fan? I'm a Cardinals fan, actually. I grew up when I was a little kid listening to the Cardinals with Jack Buck with my grandma on the swing outside of her farm. So, yeah, that's what I grew up listening to. Tracy Sylvester, how about a 50-state tour series? That would be so good. So, Tracy, one of the things I'm looking into putting together, we're going to do some pilot kind of episodes this fall, is I want to do, and I asked a question about this on our community feed on YouTube a while back. And basically what I was asking is like, hey, what are some small towns we should go visit? Because you know how like there's diners, drive-ins, and dives that talk about all these really nice little restaurants all over the country. Why don't we do something for tourism for that? You know, and let's do some things like that. So it's not necessarily like love and hates or don'ts or shots. It's just letting people know. And so right now I'm kind of planning kind of some weekend road trips during the fall, so I can take the kids. We can see stuff. So we'll kind of focus in the Midwest first to kind of get our bearings, then kind of do a U.S. road trip. Because like right now the idea is first half of next summer will be international. The second half will be in the U.S. And so we'll be doing a lot of these kind of things. So we are looking to do more of those kind of things. Now, they won't get anywhere near the views as like a what to do in Paris video, but I think it's important to do things like that to show people that you don't have to go around the world to see really nice places. You can see places nearby. And that's one of the big things I think about travel, because travel doesn't have to be international. Travel can be the town down the way that you haven't seen to. I mean, one of the biggest things that people don't realize is your friends in the cities you're going to go visit, a lot of times they don't know anything about that city. Like, you're better off researching yourself than going, and you might teach them. So there is those things. Chris Workman, hi from Ohio. Hi, I used to spend all my summer holidays there. Sandusky, Ohio, Cedar Point, heck yeah. Toledo, Ohio, is where my grandpa lives, so we have that. Let's see. Thanks, Tracy. I'm glad it sounds good. Okay. Read is good. What do you like most, city or small town? For me, it's all the same. It's all about the people. You meet good people. That's one thing about travel. You meet good people everywhere, so it's always good fun. Michael Mann, thank you again for another super chat, my friend. Going on a summer father-daughter break, that is so cool. And let her pick the destination. She chose New Orleans. It's going to be hot, and he must see things. Yes, it will be hot. July and August. Remember, like in the videos I say, your sweat will sweat, so be ready, my friend. Extra undershirts. Bring extra undershirts, okay? Well, how old is your daughter? Is she like high school, junior high? I don't remember. I'm sorry, buddy. But anyway, New Orleans, it doesn't really matter. New Orleans has got so many things for all ages. You'll be fine with that, so don't worry. We have some videos on what to see, what to do, things like that that'll help you out. I've actually got a new shocks, because we were just back there a couple months ago, so I got a new shock video and a new what to know before you go to New Orleans video. But there's tons of stuff there. World War II Museum, the Aquarium of the Americas is really good. The zoo there is fantastic. Going on like ghost tour or a cemetery tour, that might be something fun to do. And so there's that. And eat. Lots of oysters. No, not in the summer. You don't eat oysters. Don't eat oysters in the summer in New Orleans. No, sorry, never mind. Forget I said that. Eat the other food. Don't eat the oysters in the summer. You want to do that in the cold months, okay? Let's see. How different is Scotland than Ireland? Accent's different. The feel is different, but it's similar in terms of the like friendly people, outgoing people, have a good time people. Like they're always giving you a little griff, little punch here and there, like for fun. So it's good times. I think if you're a traveler and you want to do your first like international thing, I think Ireland's a little bit more set up for the tourism infrastructure than Scotland, but I love them both. So, I mean, it's like picking your favorite kid. You love them both equally, just in different ways. So there's that. Bonnie, going to Portugal. Awesome. Would you recommend to stay? Well, I would do Lisbon is your main one. I want to say you're going to go for a week. Let's say you go Friday to the next weekend. So, do like 4 days in Lisbon with a day trip to Sintra, then go up to Porto, spending like 3 days in Porto, and then do a day trip to like Braga or Guimarães when you're there, and then maybe you can stop in Coimbra on the way down in between, or stop in another city, maybe go down to Évora, another nice little place, so there's some stuff there. Johnny Chen, ever been to Australia? I was actually an exchange student in Australia way back when I was in high school. It was a good time though. Norfolk, Virginia. I've gotten a flat tire there. I know that. I've been to your local Ford dealer. Let's see. Amy Klein, 7 to 10 days in Belize or Costa Rica with 8-year-old son. I would go Costa Rica just because there's more animals, more stuff to see. Belize, but my kids really enjoyed Belize. They really enjoyed Costa Rica, but I felt there was more stuff to do in Costa Rica, and they enjoyed Costa Rica more. So that would be probably the one I would go for. And there's all kinds of stuff from zip lining if they're 8 years old. Yeah, they can go do zip lining from 5. So you can have a good time. So you get ready for zip lining to go with them. So that's cool. Let's see. Malik Vora, how to create enthusiasm to go for travel. As I always want to avoid to go traveling, finance is not a problem, but interest is. I guess many be like me, I guess avoiding holidays. Well, this is actually one of the things. As much as people like talk about, I want to travel, a lot of people don't want to travel. Or they want to travel, but it's like, I don't know if I should do it. If you're not sure, this is where I think travel agents really do a good job. Like I book most of my stuff myself, but I do this for a living. But if you're not sure and they're like, I'm not sure what I should do, that's where travel agents can really help you to kind of decide what will be the best kind of vacation for you. So you can like, look, I just want to, I like right now by you saying like, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to check these things out. Like all inclusives or a cruise might be something for you because then it's all taken care of. You don't have to do any of the planning. So it's more like I walk on the cruise ship and they do everything for me. I don't have to worry about it. So that might be something. And what's nice about the cruise is it gives you like a taste. You don't really get to experience a lot, but you get a taste of all these different cities and towns. And so you can figure out where if you want to come back and spend more time at, that might be something helpful. So I hope that helps a little bit. Rental car insurance in the UK. Always make sure you have rental car insurance because they'll nail you. They'll nail you. Okay. Erica, hey Walter. It's Mark, by the way. Walter's my last name. As people comment a lot of times in there. Which beach destination is your favorite? We are thinking Bora Bora, Maldives for a honeymoon. Would you have any other ideas? I think Maldives are probably more popular for honeymoons than Bora Bora. Bora Bora is more exotic location. Maldives is exotic location. It has a lot of like honeymooners that go there. So it kind of comes down to you want to be with a lot of the honeymooners or do you want to have more families popping up? Well, not necessarily families, but more people coming up. So there's that. Jesus Vasquez, thank you for the coffee. I will probably need one if you can't tell. For those of you who don't know why I look so haggard, I was up at 5 a.m. yesterday. We were Jeep touring, safaring through Tanzania. And then last night I had an overnight flight here in Amsterdam. And I did not sleep on the flight. So, and I'm trying to keep myself awake because it's 4 o'clock here. I'm actually in Utrecht right now. So it's 4 p.m. And you know you can't sleep more than like an hour during the day. You got to wait. So I'm waiting until about 8 o'clock to go to bed because I don't want to get like bad jet lag and then wake up at 2 a.m. and I've got a couple more weeks traveling. So there is that. Henry Boyles, Nice or Lyon? I'd probably go to Nice because you can get more places in the Riviera to check out. Regaret 13, Valencia or Cadiz? Valencia. I love Valencia. That place is great. So the Art Deco architecture there is amazing. Art Nouveau, or wait, I think it's Art Deco. It's too. My brain is melting down now. The architecture is fantastic. The people are cool. Food's good. You can take a paella making class when you're there. Go check out the market. The beaches are right there. I just like it better. Cadiz is a lot smaller, so I just like Valencia better. Reed is good. What place in North Africa is your favorite? I we had a nice time in Morocco, but I really like Tunisia. The people were spectacular when we were there. I learned so much when I was there, so I do like Tunisia quite a bit. Snore Rain, sorry if I butchered your name. Me and my girlfriend are heading to Dubrovnik, Hvar, and Split for 2 weeks next Wednesday. Nice. Any top tips on what to see and do? I think I don't have my Dubrovnik Hvar videos out. Okay, so Dubrovnik, you're going to walk the walls when you're there and see some of the sites. Know that this is one of those places that gets a lot of over tourism because the boats coming through. So the evenings it'll be empty for you, but during the day it'll be packed. So have a heads up for that. Hvar, they just the boats pop in, pop out. Split's got a little more stuff to do. Seeing the what was the name? Domitian's Palace. Diocletian's Palace. You'll see that. They built a city inside Diocletian's Palace, his retirement palace there. So that's kind of a neat thing to see. So it's a lot of walking around going, this is pretty, and I want to sit at a cafe and eat some amazing food. So you have that. Kate Fro, Kenya or Morocco? I'd probably go Morocco. Unless you are big into animals, then Kenya would be your answer there. Tyler Cool Guy 88, do you have any concerns about flying during the cold winter months? No, makes no difference to me. Gallardo, is October, November a good time to visit Switzerland? You might get some of the fall foliage switching, but it's always pretty to visit Switzerland, so you'll be fine there. Thompson Johnson, best things to do in Iceland, take in the nature. Rent a car and drive around, four-wheel drive car, drive around, see stuff. Go to the Blue Lagoon and go to the hot springs. There's other hot springs around the country you can visit too. Go see the icebergs floating through in the south, and there's all kinds of really cool stuff there. Brent asks, hey Mark, now you used to live in Berlin. Was it quite cheap to live there? Back in the day it was. It still is relatively cheap for Germany standards, for big city standards in Europe. So that's nice. So I hope that helps. Worst ever hotel experience. It was in New Hampshire? Yeah, it's in New Hampshire. We were there, and I think it was a Days Inn. And I mean, it was just straight we couldn't find anything. Apparently, there was a softball tournament there, so most of the stuff was booked out. Couldn't find anything online, so we found this Days Inn. We're like, cool, booked it, got our stuff. We got there. The room, I mean, there was lipstick on the glasses and our stuff. There was you could tell someone's butt hair was on the freaking toilet. It hadn't been cleaned, and the dude next to our room was eyeballing Jocelyn to the point that it was kind of scary. And we went up to say, we can't stay here. This place is disgusting. Well, we're not giving your money back. I'm like, fine, we're getting out of here. So that was the worst. It was in the capital of New Hampshire is where it was. And I have no problem saying that because that place was disgusting. So, yeah, that was the worst one. Jimmy, yeah, Caleb's okay. He's upstairs sleeping. Paul Johnson, Innsbruck, Salzburg, Vienna. Do them all. I love them all. So you can't go wrong with all those. Here's one. Henry Boyles. Who are your favorite travel celebrities, travel show hosts, other than yourself, obviously? I don't know if I would be my favorite. Joseph Rosendo from Travel Scope. If you travel, Joseph Rosendo, I mean, he's an older dude. He's probably in his 70s now. But he goes around, he does he does what I would wish we could do in a show. He has no shame. I will go and I will do the dances with the people. I will try this stuff out so people explore the culture, because a lot of people they get embarrassed. Oh, I don't want to do that. No, just go do it. And he goes out and explores and does all these things around the world. And he's a very good guy. His whole thing is I want to get the culture out there, not just the sights. And he has a really good show. It's on public television in the U.S., PBS. So it's not easy to find. It can be a little dry, but the guy, you can tell he has passion. You can tell he cares. That's who I look up to. There's a lot of other ones that I don't look up to. There's a lot of ones I look at and say, you're giving bad advice. You're just someone you look good, so they put you on TV. It doesn't make you a good traveler, and that's one of the things. I think that's one of the things that social media has really helped, because think about it. I mean, the Travel Channel isn't travel anymore. The Travel Channel is Ghost Hunters and Ancient Aliens or whatever. No, that's History Channel's Ancient Aliens. Travel Channel is it should be called Food Channel International, basically, or some other conspiracy theory thing. I mean, I know it makes them more money. That's why they do it. Actually, I should do that for Professor Wolters' channel. Why is it that the History Channel doesn't show any history shows and the Travel Channel doesn't show any travel shows anymore? I mean, notice the Travel Channel, it's TRVL. It's not travel anymore. It's TRAVL. So makes you think. I guess that's why we'll never get a show with them. Who knows? Anyway, let's see. Lincoln Mika Fox. Mark, my name is John. I live in Australia. I'm a person with disability planning to go to Paris and London in September. Can you please give me some transport and accommodation suggestions? So accommodation stuff, you need to go to TripAdvisor and make sure they have a filter on there, or go to bookings.com, go to their filter and say you need, whatever accessibility you need, you put that in there, and they will filter the results for you, and so you can see what works best for you. In terms of getting around, the tube and the metro in Paris and the tube in London are not always going to have accessibility things and elevators at every stop. So you're going to do more taxi kind of stuff, Uber kind of things. So have your account set up for those things. Okay, that would be my stuff. But going to the sites, a lot of them they'll have accommodations for you. There'll be elevators and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know what your disability is. So, but they do have stuff for you for those. So London and Paris do have a lot of stuff for people that do have any extra needs or stuff like that. So that's kind of you're picking two good cities for that. Can I visit Europe with $3,000 for 3 weeks? Yes, you can. Champ, hey Walter. Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark with Walter's World. Hey Walter, what's your favorite travel rewards credit card and programs? Here's the thing. If you're going to get a travel reward credit card, one, always look at the interest rate, because just because it gives you good points, if they got a bad rate, you're paying too much money for it. So there is that. I would say for me, I always look at it this way. I like to get just the normal Airline one versus like Capital One. I mean, Capital One's got some good stuff too, but there's some more general stuff. I like my Delta one because if I buy with Delta, I use my Delta American Express, I get double miles, I get extra stuff, I get to board earlier and stuff like that. Which for me, getting to board early is worth it right there. Like I have a United card, I have a Delta card. I mean, I do all my everyday purchase with Delta, my American Express, and I buy my Delta tickets with Delta. But if I do United, I always use my United card because then hey, I get to board earlier, and those things pay off. So if you're going to get one with the airline that you fly with the most or that's based out where you live. So you're going to use that airline the most, so you get the most benefit for it. Because like, there's no point in me getting KLM miles because I'm usually flying Delta, not KLM. So there's that. Hey, in Russia, good to hear from you. Let's see, next question. Lincoln, oh, thank you, Lincoln, John from Australia. Thank you. You're very welcome. Thanks. I'm glad I can help out. Grace, yes, Wolters is my last name. Mark is my first name. Mark Wolters. Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark from Wolters World. So, yeah, that's me. I'm Mark Wolters. So, Kate, I have been to Switzerland a number of times. One of my best friends lived there for a long time. I've almost choked to death on fondue twice there. Fun fact. I guess that'll be 2 fun facts. So there's that. Chad Williamson, which is cheaper and you prefer, Thailand or Spain? Thailand is definitely cheaper. A lot more cool stuff to see there. I mean, it's just much more of an experience. But Spain, if you factor out your plane ticket, it depends on where you're flying from. Chad, thank you for the super chat, by the way. But if you're looking for cheaper, I would do Thailand for sure. Overall, Michael Penrose, do you feel safer in Greece or Turkey? Went to book for a week's trip. I feel a bit safer in Greece than Turkey. I mean, I don't have any problems with Turkey or Greece either, but I just felt a little bit safer there. But that's also because Jocelyn's half Greek, so we have family there, we have friends that live there, so it's more like visiting home than traveling when we go there. Let's see, Eric Holstein, my kid's gonna be in Rothenburg tomorrow. What would you recommend to see? Okay, well, United, you can do whatever you want in Germany, but Rothenburg is really cool. Having to do the night tour or a day tour with the guys that are dressed up and they walk on the walls, that was one thing I really enjoyed when I was there. Let's see. Demi, the best ski resorts in Norway or Austria? Go to Austria because you can actually afford to have a drink at the top, where in Norway you can't. It's just silly expensive. So Waffle Master, dude, you got an awesome name, by the way. Waffle Master 135. Hi, Mark. Thank you. I'm doing a study abroad trip in Italy. Oh, I'm jealous. For fall 2020, I need to go to Bologna from Rome. What would be the cheapest, easiest way to get there? There's trains every hour. Termini station, grab the train, head up, no problem whatsoever. And Trenitalia is pretty cheap too, so you'll be fine. Reed is good. Do you like Drew Blinsky? I don't watch his stuff, so I've seen some of the cinematography is nice, but I don't really watch him very much, so I can't say if I like him or not. So there's that. Let's see. Vladislav. Oh, Vladislav. Vladislav, if I only have time to visit one, should I visit Budapest or Vienna? I would do Vienna because there's more stuff to see there. Also, is Tunisia safe? How about Turkey? Tunisia, since the Spring Revolution, or the Arab Spring, sorry, I'm not sure how it is. I would look on the State Department's website to figure out are your country's recommendations when you go there. I loved it when I was there years ago, but that was before. That was 10 years ago now, so when I was there, so there is that. Turkey, certain parts are fine, just like anywhere. I mean, we're going to go there next year, so there is that. Let's see. Kaiser Sezonov. Hello from Kazakhstan. Hello there. When are you planning to visit Central Asia? So, originally we were planning to go next summer, but now I'm not sure if we're going to do that because I think we're going to focus the former Yugoslavia kind of stuff. So, we need to get there. I actually got an invitation to go to a conference there in August, but I don't know if I can make it because I have another trip. I'm going with my mom to Scotland to go help her find our family, like where their graves and stuff like that. So we're doing like a genealogy thing. So I might have to cancel, not be able to go, but I am planning on getting there. Like any place you guys suggest, we want to get there. It just like I have a day job, so like during the school year I teach, so I travel every time I can, but I can't do the long ones. Like getting to Central Asia is a long way to go, and I can't really do it for a weekend. So I got to figure out a way to get more time to do that. But we'll get there. Don't worry about that. Let's see. Skippy Nasty TV. Thank you for all you do. You're very welcome. How safe is Europe for Americans? It's totally fine. I mean, I feel safer walking the streets here than I do in a lot of places in the U.S., so don't worry. And the anti-American sentiment, I know a lot of people like to get up and they like to, they'll talk about political figures. I mean, I lived in Europe for the part of the Clinton administration, the Bush administration, Obama administration, Trump administration, and every place, every time, every president, someone always didn't like them. So it doesn't really matter who the president is. People will not like it for that. But most people they don't say like they know that look, politics is politics and people are people. And they're not the same thing. So I think there's a lot. They separate it better here than I think we do in the U.S. So there's that. Tokyo or Dubai for summer? Tokyo. Mark, have you been to Disneyland Paris? If so, how is it compared to the parks in the States and the U.S.? So, Mark, I have been to Disneyland Paris. It's like a smaller version. It's more like Disneyland in California than Disney World. It's like 85% the same. If you've been to one, you won't feel too different. Like there'll be slight like design changes and the menus on the foods will be slightly different, but there's that. AFC, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. They're heading to Orlando. And how many days needed for Disney versus Universal? Okay, so it depends on what you like. If you like rides and Harry Potter and stuff like that, then Universal is probably better than Disney. But the thing is, Disney has a lot of different parks. So like we've gone down and like we'll do Magic Kingdom for one day. Epcot is another day, but then Universal, we'll do two different parts. We'll spend like 2 days at Universal, but our kids like Harry Potter, and that stuff more appeals to them than the Disney stuff because they're a bit older, so there is that. But I would say, yeah, if you're going to do like whatever Disney park you're going to go to, at least 1 day for that. And so you figure like get 2 different parks, maybe 3 different parks there. Universal's at least 1 day, and maybe 2 if you want to go to a different part, like see the studios and stuff like that. So there's Barry Rui Diaz, what's the best thing visiting Tokyo? How clean it is. Like, it's amazing how clean it is. Pablo the Dinosaur, is Paris safe to visit? I know there was some rioting. Yeah, the yellow vests on Saturdays. Just, don't go in a popular place on Saturdays. We're going there next week, so I have no problem. We go there all the time. So it's just like anywhere. You got to make sure you're paying attention, and bad stuff happens everywhere. So don't get too freaked out about it. Alex asks, what is your take on EF Tours for high school students? EF Tours usually does a nice job. They actually have some study abroad programs, too, that are a bit longer. I did have some issues with one in Greece a couple of years ago because it was like the end of their tour, and the guides a lot of the guides were like younger guides, so they were letting the high school students drink and have fun, and then they was like screaming and yelling and singing at the hotel, and it was like not a cheap hotel. Well, it wasn't cheap. It was like middle-class hotel in Athens, and like we have a flight at 6 a.m. I'm like, guys, can you go to bed? No, we're not gonna do anything. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I had to go to the front desk, and the front desk was like, well, you need to talk to their chaperones. I'm like, where the hell are their chaperones? Because I got 2 little kids here trying to get some sleep for a 6 a.m. flight, and these, so. But in general, I think EF does a nice job. But I said that wasn't a bad experience. Anna Medrano. Sorry, Anna. Anna Medrano. Amalfi Coast or French Riviera? I would do Amalfi Coast. Probably the prettiest coastline, prettiest like natural side in Europe. I would do that. But just be ready for the vomit bus when it goes through, because that little van bus that takes you around. Be ready. I think Jocelyn just wrote me. Hold on. I'll be right back. Let's see what's okay. Okay, Chad Williamson back. Mark, what's the best first destination for South America? I would say Peru is probably the best first one, because you got the Incas over there. You have all kinds of good stuff. Machu Picchu is there. People are nice. Food's really good in Peru too, and there's a lot of easy flights to get there. It's not super far. It's a relatively easy flight as well. So you have that. So I hope that helps. That'll be my first one. Now, it's not my favorite one because I love Brazil, but I also speak Portuguese and live there. So that's a bit different. But I think Peru's an easy first one. Ecuador is great as well. Also, and in Colombia, a lot of people look over that because they think to the 80s and FARC and stuff like that. Don't really like Colombia is really a beautiful place. We're hoping to go there, I think, spring break next year to do some filming there so we can get some stuff to let people know that it's okay to visit. So we're going to that. Kate Fro, go to New York. Any key tips? Make sure you're peeing before you leave your hotel, because finding good public toilets in New York is a bit tough. Gustavo, thanks, buddy, for the super chat. You've been quite talkative today. What are you doing about food in Rwanda? I'm eating it. I'm eating all of it. The thing is, in Rwanda, I mean, Rwanda is still a pretty poor country, and so a lot of people are vegetarians there, not because of any religious reason or stuff like that. They're that because why would I eat the cow when I can make more money selling the dung for fertilizer and selling the milk to make money than I will from selling the meat? So people really have become more vegetarian there. So you have some really amazing vegetarian foods in Rwanda. Like everywhere we went, like there'd be like 4 things on the menu, 2 meats, 2 veggies dishes, and the veggie dishes were always better. Like I was just like, man, the food's so good. The veggie food. Like the week we were there, I was a vegetarian because it was so good. Eric Holstein, hey, thanks, Mark. I love your do's and don'ts videos. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate that, and thank you for the super chat. I'm glad we can help out other travelers with our do's and don'ts videos. I got a few done. So in Rwanda and Tanzania, let's see what we got done. In Rwanda, we got shocks for Rwanda, don'ts for Rwanda. We started a new series called Mistakes Tourists Make. And like one of the big mistakes people make about Rwanda is they think it's just genocide and guerrillas. And there's a lot more than that in that country. So that's a new series we got doing. What to know before you go. What else? In Tanzania, we did what to know before you go to Tanzania. What to know before you go on a safari, because that's very different than just going to Tanzania. Shocks to safari. Some don'ts videos when we were there. What else? Couple packing videos. So we're trying to, I got about 50, 60 videos filmed. So far this trip, because I've been to, I think, 9 countries so far this summer, and I got a few more to go. So we'll have a lot of new stuff for this fall. So there's nice. Hi, Mark. What's the longest you've spent living in another country? I spent 5 years in Portugal. I did my PhD there. If those you don't know, I have another channel called Professor Wolters where I do marketing videos and YouTube like help videos and stuff like that. I only just really started it like this summer, like this spring, putting up content there. So there's only like 35, 40 videos, but that's where I'm going to be doing a lot more new videos and stuff like that. Like right now I'm doing like basic marketing for my students, my normal classes, YouTube tip videos, but eventually we're going to move into some more business help videos. So like if something happens in the world, like, hey, I'd like to know what's that business thing there. I can help people out. Tell people, because the thing is, one thing is people have problems when they're reading the news. They're not sure about the business content. Like, what are they really talking about when the GDP's up or trade deficits, or sometimes like let's put it in a way that people can understand it. So the idea in that channel is to put marketing, put business, international business, being a YouTuber, stuff like that, into normal language versus the jargon that a lot of people spew at you. Like you watch CNBC and these places. I mean, a lot of times I see people like, they realize you're just spewing out jargon. And when you do that, the people that are in the industry know you're just bullshitting them. And the people that aren't don't know what you're talking about anyway. So you got to be careful with that. So I want to make sure I want to make it so everyone can learn. Like my big thing is I want to democratize education. I want to make it available for everybody. So that's why we're putting all my classes out on YouTube, because it's free and anybody can watch it anywhere in the world, hopefully. So that can be helpful that way. So Ian Osman, why never in Turkey? Unless I'm missing something, I mean, no representation regarding Turkey. So it just hasn't come up. We just haven't got there yet. Right now, it's on the books for summer 2020. So we will be there in summer 2020. I've been to North Cyprus, which has a Turkish influence, but I know it's not Turkey. But no, we will be getting to Turkey. Don't worry, my friend. Don't worry. Lincoln, have a coffee or get the kids a treat. Australia is awesome. When you finally get here, come to Melbourne. I'd play tour guide. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Actually, I was an exchange student in Australia in high school way back in the day. I lived in Temora, New South Wales, outside of Wagga, or Wagga Wagga if you look on our map. So I got to visit like Adelaide. I loved Adelaide, Sydney, Canberra, Bathurst. So it was a short-term trip. It was like, a couple months in the summer, but it was a wonderful time. People are like, some of the funniest people in the world are Australians. I know like Canadians become all the famous comedians on TV, but honestly, like just overall good-natured, outgoing, outdoors people, dude, Australia's top, man. They are some fun people. I've had some good times traveling with those people at that. Let's see. Okay, Laura B. Hello, I'm a huge fan of your videos. Question, I'm interested in taking a train from Paris to Munich. Do you have any tips for this? Take the EasyJet flight. Save yourself 12 hours, 10 hours in a train. Unless you do the overnight train. I mean, it's gonna be way more expensive than flying. I'm not gonna lie to you. And actually, I would just take like an Air France or Lufthansa flight versus an EasyJet flight, because you probably get better. I mean, I love EasyJet, don't get me wrong, but you might be able to get like better times too. So there is that. Stefan Bush, which country would you choose to settle down besides the U.S.? If someone offered me a job in Rome, I'd go there like that. If someone offered me a job, basically Italy, excuse me, sorry about that. Italy, Scotland, France. I'd go back to Portugal. Where else? Australia, New Zealand, Japan for a while. Canada. Love Mexico. My dad worked there for a long time. We're pretty open. We're pretty open. Like I don't have a problem because we've met good people everywhere in the world, so nothing really holds me back. American Princess One. Hi everyone. Is travel to Paris still safe? Yes. It's the same as anywhere these days. Let's see. Paul Johnson, Americans versus Australians. Americans versus Canadians. I actually have a video, 10 ways Americans and Australians are the same. And when I get back home in the U.S., I will finally get out my Don'ts of Canada video. We have a Shocks of Canada video, but I got to get those don'ts out. I think you'll enjoy that one. Let's see. Oh, Zen Jen, thank you very much for the super chat. Hi, Mark. I'm wondering which English-speaking country would you recommend for a first-time female solo traveler? Love your channel. I would say Scotland, one, Ireland, England. Oh no, Scotland, Ireland, Wales, England. They're all. You're pretty cool with all of them. Like, there's a lot of female travelers going through there by themselves. I would say, like, for country-wise, Ireland has probably the best infrastructure, like tourism infrastructure with transportation, hotels, accommodation, used to tourists coming there, especially first-time tourists. So that's nice. Scotland, it's so remote and stuff like that you'll be really on your own adventure when you're there. England is a lot more densely populated, so it's more city travel, but you can get out and see some of the country, the stately manor homes and stuff like that. It's really nice, and there's so many nice districts there. Barrio Diaz, do you think Dubai is overrated? I have not been there. Once I go there, I will let you know. Cartman Dulux, can you do a top 10 shocking things about Australia? When I get down there, I will film one. Don't worry. Jocelyn and I are talking about Australia and New Zealand for a few weeks, maybe this Christmas. But we're debating, like, do we do Dubai or do we do like Australia, New Zealand, and go to Dubai and do like around the world? So we're still trying to figure it out. So we'll be getting there. Don't worry. Seth, have you gone to Chile? What are your thoughts? Yes, I have been to Chile. Best empanadas in South America, man. Chile knows how to do those things. They're great. Pretty safe, too. I like Santiago. Vina del Mar, when you go watch the sunset there on the west coast, it's just gorgeous. Going down to the Glacier National Park in the south is really cool. If you go up the Atacama Desert in the north, that's a whole other thing. It's such a long country. There's so many different geographies or topographies you'll see there. It's really, really kind of cool. Kate Fro, I want to go to Canada, but which city? Quebec City is my favorite. And then Toronto, then Montreal. I'm not a fan of Vancouver. I don't know why. I'll be honest, Vancouver's overrated. I'm going to say it right there. Vancouver is overrated for what you get and how much money you have to spend when you're there. Now, if you're a nature lover, it is not overrated. If you're a nature lover, it's a great place to go. But if you want to do a city visit, I would go Quebec City 1, Toronto 2, Montreal 3, in that order there. So there's that. Paul Kamulski, when is the best time to visit Ireland? How about December? It'll be wet and cold, but you can still go in December. I've been there in December, October, September, October, December, July. I've been there in the fall or in the spring once too. I can't remember when exactly. Let's see. What else? Yeah, but Ireland's pretty good all year round, but I would probably shoot for March, April, May, or September, October, because then the big tourist groups aren't there, and that really helps you make it a lot easier when you go there. So Nick Damaso heading to Copenhagen for the first time in August. Any advice? Don't talk on public transportation is one. No, have some hot dogs and some beer for me. You'll be fine. There's some good museums there too. Get a bike and watch out for the bike lanes because they will run you down and run you over, and it'll be your fault. So do be careful with that one. Orlando on the toilet about to go to bed. Love your channel. Hey, you know what? I take my phone to the bathroom too, my friend. Fist pump. Have sweet dreams, my friend. Demi V, where are the best Christmas markets? I find the best Christmas markets, southern Germany, like in Bavaria, has good ones. Innsbruck, Austria is fantastic. Salzburg, Austria is fantastic. Sometimes small towns. I really enjoyed Feldkirch, Austria is one quite a bit. Vienna's nice, but I like smaller cities. Bamberg, Germany's got some really nice ones. But you're kind of focused on there. If you're looking for one in France, Strasbourg in France is the Christmas city of France. That's another good one to go to. But there's a lot of Christmas markets, Central Eastern Europe. There's a lot of Christmas markets around. So you can kind of tie things together, in Prague, the whole square, the first Sunday of Advent opens up, and they have all kinds of stuff there. So that's really nice. So we have that. Marco Antonio Garbe, favorite part about Chicago. All my students there are from Chicago. I have tons and tons of students that are from Chicago, and they are my favorite part of that city because they make me go into work, my day job, fantastic. I can't leave that job. I love it too much. They make me love it so much that I don't leave it to go travel all the time because they're awesome. So that's what I love most about Chicago, my students from there. Michael Penrose, we love your do's and don'ts on Luca. We loved it. Thank you for your tips. Oh, I'm glad I could help, Michael. I really like Luca. I need to get back down there. We were back in Italy this summer, but we were in the north of Vicenza and around there, and the Veneto region because we have friends there, so we spent a lot of time there. We got to Trieste as well, which was a fantastic surprise town. If you want a town that very few tourists go to, but it's worth visiting, Trieste is a really nice one in Italy. Oh, Simpo, thank you for the super chat that just popped up. Hi from Australia at 12:30 a.m. Well, it is Saturday night, Sunday morning, so you're just getting ready to go out. I've never traveled abroad and will be heading to Europe for 20 nights this December. Rome to London by the east. Any tips or advice? Okay, so that's 20 nights. So I'm going to guess you're doing like Rome up to like Venice, then up to Prague, over to Germany, like to Paris, then up to London. If you're going to be doing a tour, one of the things with tours, they give you very limited time in the city, like limited free time. So make sure you kind of plan what you want to do in that free time in those cities. And also sometimes there's something you really want to see that's not on the itinerary of your tour, because I'm guessing you're on a tour, I don't know. But if you're going to be going on a tour, if they give you any free time, or if there's something you want to see and they don't go see it, realize that you can do your own thing for that day. You just got to be back on the bus or back on the boat beforehand. And actually you can get a tour guide that'll take you and show you the things you really want to see instead of theirs. Okay, so there is that. But just, do some research so you know what you want to see in each of the cities, because 20 nights is 3 weeks. Rome to London, that's a lot to get in between. So make sure you're kind of prepared so you know, like, think of it this way. Make sure you know the 3 things you really want to see in each of the cities, because I'll see people that'll go to a city and they have no idea what to see, and by the time they realize what they wanted to see, oh, that's there, it's already time for them to go. So a little research, you'll be okay. Simpo, thank you very much. I'm glad thank you again for supporting the channel. It really means a lot. Like, for example, your super chats help me get this camera. This is it's a Sony Alpha 6000. This is what I use. This is my 4th one because they do burn out eventually, and my other one died, or I couldn't take more than 2-minute long videos. So the super chats helped me get this because I had to get this while I was traveling because it was dead. So you all do make a difference. I don't use it for crap. I do this so we can make better videos for you. So thank you for you all. So if you wonder where it went, thank you for this. Okay, so I can make more videos. So like I said, I think about 40 videos for Professor Wolters and about 50 videos for Wolters World. I've got those films. So I've been trying to film a lot on this trip to give people more parts of the world. So thank you so much, everybody. Let's see. Chat. Wait, hold on. Cartman Deluxe. What do you think of Anthony Bourdain and his show? Well, it's very sad that he killed himself, and there's no words for that. That's just a horrible situation. But I think the guy did a really good job of showing culture. A lot of food shows just show you food. He focused a lot more on how food relates to culture, and I really appreciated that from his work. And he really got and showed people things. And the thing is, like, whether you're Anthony Bourdain or Guy Fieri or whatever, when you're going and showing places, it's bringing attention to that place, and more people go there. So you're helping out that community. Think of all the free advertising that Guy Fieri has done with Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, or what Anthony Bourdain did on his shows. It makes a difference in those people's lives when they go there. And I think it's a fantastic thing. And when people rip on Anthony Bourdain or they rip on Guy Fieri, why do that? These people are doing a good thing, showing us other places in the world, a place to eat, place to see, and things we didn't know before. And I think that's a great thing. And it's a very sad loss because in today's Travel Channel isn't travel anymore, and the History Channel isn't a History Channel anymore. Those are some of the ways that we could actually learn about cultures and learn about different people. And I think that's one thing that's really lost in his passing. So it's sad. So anyway, back to some other less tear-jerking topics. Read is good. Tips to learning languages when it becomes boring. Okay, so I have a few tips when it comes to learning languages. One, you have to take it seriously. Don't just you gotta take it for real. So that means you take a class. Your community college or something like that, you're going to take a class. It's not somewhere you just buy a phrase book. You need a grammar book because you need to learn how to make your own sentences. Because if you just use a phrase book, all you can do is answer those phrases. Okay, so make sure you're doing that. 2, watch shows that you know online. You'll see The Simpsons. Very simple English. You can watch it in other languages. It helps you learn the language. You put subtitles on and stuff like that. Maybe your old DVDs have that. Or if you have Netflix, you can put on like Danish subtitles, and you can watch the Danish subtitles while you speak English, and it'll help you kind of learn a bit. That can help as well. If you can find a native speaker to practice with, it might be on Skype or something like that. Little things like this make a big difference in helping you learn language, especially when it gets boring. Let's see. Simpo, thanks for the heads up, and yes, I'm on a tour. Most places I stay for 2 nights minimum. I'm keen for the weather and the food, but thanks again for your videos. I always love them. Cool, I'm glad I could help. So yeah, so again, a city you really want to see. There's something you want to see, get a guide for it. Rick Steves, his guides are really good. If you just go to your local library and look up Rick Steves for the country you're in, they'll have recommendations for guides. Just get a guide for that day, and that'll help you out. 16-hour overnight layover in Munich. What is a must-see do eat in that time period? Go to the Haxe House and have Haxe. It's a pork knuckle. It's big, huge, the bone with the big thing of pork in it. You go to one of the beer halls there overnight. There's things like that. Basically, if it's an overnight, 16 hours, you probably get in the afternoon and leave the next morning. So you'll come in, you can walk through the pedestrian street and see the stuff there. That's very nice. You can go to Hopper House, which is a big tourist one, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Have some beers, have some food there, then head back. That's what I would do. And I've had layovers like that where I just walk through the old town, take in the sights, see the Glockenspiel, go eat some food, head back to my hotel for my next flight. So don't worry. Let's see. That one, if you want to learn a language, just watch series with audio spoken in the language you want to learn and English subtitles. Yeah, that's another way to do it too. Yep. Jazz, have you ever been to Mayan Riviera, Chichen Itza? Yes, we have. I highly recommend it. I actually filmed quite a few videos on Cancun, so if you're going to be going there, I have a lot of stuff to help you out on that. You have a couple, I think they're over 1 million views, so they seem to be helping. Also, videos on all-inclusive resorts that you should know, see if they're right for you, so there is that. Carmen Deluxe, how can you afford to travel to all these cities and countries? Are you rich? No, I'm not rich. I have a job, and we prioritize traveling. I'm a university professor, so that's why I have the free time to travel. And then we make a point to travel to places, we're not traveling to expensive places a lot. We're traveling to places that are more affordable. That's why you don't see a lot of Dubai or Switzerland videos on here. You see a lot of Italy, you see Eastern Europe, you're seeing some Africa stuff, a lot of Central America, South America. So we pick more affordable places. Also, we like to go visit our friends. We don't have a ton of countries. Well, I guess we do have a ton of countries, but I like to go see my friends. So we'll go and stay with our friends. So stay with our friends for a week saves us $1,000. So wow, what is that extra $1,000 in hotel rooms we're not paying for? What does that save us? How much farther can we go? How much more can we travel? So we do that. I haven't had cable since the early 2000s. Think about that. If you're not shelling out $200 a month for cable, that's $2,000 a year. I mean, that's 3 of us going to. Well, heck, I got tickets to Paris for this fall, and that's 4 of us going to Paris for the flight. So we really prioritize a lot of those things there. We don't eat out a lot when we're home. I know I'm a fat guy, but it's because my wife's a great cook and I have no self-control. So we save money that way too. So there's that. Simpo, yeah, hey, don't worry, we'll be back in Australia. I'm sure I'll make an announcement about that one, and we'll try to put some stuff together when we're there. Gavin Begg, any advice for Seoul, South Korea? I have not been there. My dad, who's asleep on the couch over there, he used to work there. He loved his time there. He loved the food and the people, so he always had good things to say. But he never took me or my mom, and we're not bitter about that at all, Dad. Anyway, let's see. Jared Cordero, if you given it a chance to live in any country in Europe, what country would it be and why? I probably go with Italy because I love the people, I love the language, I love the food, I love the openness, and just I'm a very not loud, but I'm a very talkative, gregarious person, and it fits in well in Italy, so it's really nice. Danny Dorco, any tips for mixing with people out with nightlife? You're traveling solo but not staying in hostels. It's the same way if you're going to a bar or a club in your home country. You dance, you see people, you say hi. It's kind of how it goes. I think one of the ways I've met people when I've traveled, I go to places I'll go to touristy, restaurant, not touristy restaurant, but I go to the Opera House and meet somebody there, talk to people there, or in museums, or you'll see if you're a tourist, you'll bump into the same kind of people a few times. You see them a couple times, say hi. You might make a friend that way. So you have a travel buddy for a couple days. M-Trade, what's your favorite airline, Mark? Delta. I mean, we travel with them all the time because they treat us well. So I like them. I like their flights. I like their schedules. Their prices are always fine. And they've been very helpful. Anytime I've tweeted with them or called them, they get things done like that. So I'm very happy with that. Vinicius Reis. Hey, Walter, I'm a Brazilian from Rio. Olá, tudo bem? Living in Krakow. Let's have a beer next time you're here. Sounds good, my friend. I need to get back to Krakow. It's been a couple years. So now I still have one. Man, I should remember, I still have a Krakow video. I think I have one Krakow video left. No, or do I? No, I think I got all the Poland videos out because I remember I found. So I have all these chips with all these things. So I've had them saved, and then sometimes it's like I'll get like 2 or 3 Poland videos out. I'm like, why don't I put like 5 Poland videos out in a row or 5 Germany videos out in a row? You all get bored. I want to have different countries coming out. And so like sometimes they get pushed off. So I'll find a video from like 2 years ago. I'm like, oh, I forgot to put that out. So I think I found a Krakow one. Maybe. I'll see if I do. I think I got it out, but sometimes it's kind of funny that way. Let's see. Chad Williamson, what's the best place for you've been for historic ruins or castles? So castles, the UK is great for castles. Okay, Wales, Scotland, England for the palaces. That's. I mean, Ireland's got a ton of them too. But UK, the British Isles, Ireland. That's your castle country right there. I think those are the best ones for historic ruins. You can't beat Italy. North Africa's got a lot. Like Tunisia's got some good ruins, stuff like that. You go to Petra and Jordan, so there's some good places there. Dean Laquette, what place is on the list next? So my next destinations are, we're going to Bruges, Belgium, Luxembourg City, Paris, and then I was going to LA, but I think I'm going to cancel that one. I'll be home for a bit. Then Shetland Islands, going up there, going to Edinburgh and Scotland for the Edinburgh Festival. What else we have? We have Israel's booked for this year, France is booked for this year, New Mexico's booked for this year. A trip to Athens, Georgia. Going to go to UGA and visit there. That planned out as well. Then after from 1st December, I don't have anything planned from there. So we're kind of open for next year. We've got a lot of ideas about where we think we might go, but we haven't put the money yet down. I'm trying to pay off all this other stuff we've done. So trying to get into a better financial spot before we can do this. So let's see what else is on here. Kimberly Claffey, one must see in Helsinki. If it's in the summer, go down to the market where the harbor is and eat there. You get some really good reindeer and stuff like that when you're there. Or if you want crepes, there's some nice stuff there too. But I like going there, and I like going to the main Lutheran church. There's a big white one you'll see. That's kind of a nice thing to see. You can also go to the Russian Orthodox Church that's there as well. It's cool to go inside, especially if you've never been to Orthodox Church, seeing the icons and how pretty it is inside. That's really nice. Simbo, how long till the do's and don'ts of Mars? Actually, I'm currently working on a couple collaborations with John Michael Gaudier. He has a science channel, and we are working on a few fun science-y do's and don'ts of space travel kind of videos and stuff like that. So there'll be some stuff coming out in the fall for that, but I don't want to give that away. Spoilers on that one, okay? Old Mexico is great. Yes, Mexico is great. I love it there. Oh, Hallstatt, Austria. Nick Damasa, have you been to Hallstatt, Austria? It looks super picturesque. It is super picturesque. It just takes a while to get there. That's why not as many people go there. But it is, if you got the time, go. It is gorgeous. Chad Williams, is it true that some countries, regions don't like Americans? Yeah, just like some people in Illinois don't like people from Indiana. I mean, if you're a tourist, it's not really a big issue. I mean, there's only one thing people care about in tourism, and that's the color green of money. Okay, so don't worry. All right. Let's see. Hi, Mark. Is doing both Rhine and Mosel valleys in 2 days from Koblenz enough time without a car? Is that pushing it? No, because Koblenz is where it splits. So if you're going to do the Mosel, I recommend going to Kochum. Go there, do your wine tasting, see the castle there. I love Kochum. Kochum's a great city. Rhine, the ferry, the boats go down. You can just hop off. Another one will come and you'll go down. You can do that. It's no problem. So that you can have 1 day each. I mean, it's a bit quick, but it's doable. It is definitely doable. July in Paris, Berlin, Rome. Is it a dry heat or a humid heat? Paris is just heat. Berlin, it's not that hot. Rome is heat. It's more heat than humidity. David, can you speak any other language fluently? I think I would feel comfortable teaching in English, German, Spanish, and probably Portuguese. As a tourist, I can have like basic conversations in Italian, maybe intermediate conversation in Italian. That could be like a basic, like nice tourist in Lithuanian and French. So there's that. Perfect answer. I grew up in Indiana. Love it. Love it. Let's see. Earthly Firefly. Tolstoy dedicated his last 3 years for clarification of true Christian teaching, necessity, which is easy guidance by humanity, which, yes, that is a wonderful thing that he did, but, this is a travel thing, not a philosophy thing. Maybe the Professor Wolters channel would be better for that discussion. So, my buddy from Brazil is back. I'm just returning from Prague. Holy hell, what an amazing city. Yes, it was. You better have had the duck. You better have the duck. I'm coming after you, okay? So clean, every building is totally restored. I went to Budapest last year, but the city gave me an impression of decaying. Yes, Prague is, yes, that is a good way to put it. But I will say Budapest has really improved over the last 5 or 10 years, like cleaned up quite a bit. But yeah, you definitely have that. You can feel it was rougher. It had a rougher back, like last 50 years than Prague did, or 70 years than Prague did. So you definitely get that feel to it. Let's see. Yes, Jimmy, don't worry. Caleb's fine. Caleb's doing all good. He's upstairs. I think he's... Liam, is Caleb still sleeping? Caleb's awake. He's probably on his phone. We've been traveling for 2 weeks with no internet, none of these things. So we're like, hey, boys, you can have a do-nothing day here at the Airbnb. And Mom and Grandma are out shopping, getting their hair done and stuff like that. Grandpa's taking a nap, and I'm talking with my buddies, my fellow travelers. So there is that. Oh, Mike Wood, should I trust Airbnbs? In general, yes. But I always say is there's a lot of them, not a lot of them. There's enough stories now where some Airbnbs have put cameras inside. Always look around. If it looks like there's like an extra smoke detector or there's an extra like red light on somewhere, always check those things out. Because Airbnb are notorious for doing nothing about that. And that's one of the big issues there. Also, one of the things I think with Airbnb is tough is like you can only write a review if they write a review about you and vice versa. So you never know what they wrote. So that's one of the things there. So people are like overly positive about Airbnb reviews. Like I feel Airbnb reviews are like take them down one step. If there's a 5-point scale and they got a 5, give them a 4. Because since everyone knows the people, it's easier to screw people's reviews over, by whatever. Because we've had places where we didn't read between the lines. We were in Connecticut, and there's one place like, oh, they're super attentive. They're always there for you. Well, I didn't realize always there, but they were like staring through the windows at you. Like that was freaky. So, but people couldn't write that because they're worried that they're going to ruin. Like they'll write a bad review about them, and then no one will rent me a place. So that is actually a really big issue I think Airbnb needs to address. Like I'm saying that as a marketing professor and as a traveler. Like that is a big problem. Real Beast, thank you. I appreciate the love. Snow Rain, what's the subject of your PhD? My PhD thesis was on Brazilian banking efficiency and new product development during the last financial crisis. So that's why I'm very partial to Brazil. So let's see. Yeah. Yes, Caleb.
Where's my plug?
Your plug, Grandpa has it, buddy. I'm on a live feed if you want to say hi. Hi. So, Titus, have you been to Greenland? I have not been to Greenland. I kick myself every day because I found out there were flights from Iceland to Greenland. We could go for the day, and we didn't. That's my biggest regret not doing. We were there, so that's it. So, Richard Copeland used a great Airbnb in Waikiki. Yeah, we've had some great Airbnbs, places we've gone, so I can't say anything. I can't be really bad. It's just one of those things. Definitely you have to read extra between the lines on the reviews for these ones. Bob Joe, will you be my daddy? I got 2 kids. I can't do anymore, man. Jared Fane, what's your favorite German city? Bamberg in Bavaria is my favorite. Franken, that's my favorite one. Professor Daddy. Maybe. We'll see. Let's see. Eli Wilson, or Eli. We are staying with family in Mississippi for a month or so, and I was wondering if you have any must-see or travel locations in the state. Natchez, Mississippi. Go there. It's where a lot of plantation owners actually have their city homes, so you have some amazing southern architecture there in Natchez. Go check it out. That is the one place you have to check out when you are in Mississippi, okay? Let's see. Encarnacion Serrano. Thanks for your work, family. Thank you. Well, you're very welcome. Any tips on Finland? So Finland is going to be definitely more of a nature-based trip, okay? There's some cities like Tampere, Helsinki, Turku, but we had a good time, right? In Finland, but nature stuff, outdoor stuff, you're gonna have that. It's more nature-based stuff. Going to sauna, like and sweating like crazy and enjoying it's fantastic. Let's see. We have 5. I'm a public school teacher and wish to travel during summer break. Cool, that's what we always do. And thank you for being a teacher. It takes a lot to educate students today. I know. I feel your pain. I'm a public school teacher and wish to travel during summer break. Recommendations to organizations, countries that hire for 2 to 3 months in the summer. Okay, what you might want to look into is like there's EF, there's other companies that will actually like sponsor teachers to take their students places, so you could organize trips with them. And if you're not sure, well, EF will actually take you for like a 5-day trip to test it out, and then you could take students like the next year. So that could be something. I actually have quite a few friends. They're public school teachers that actually that's how they do their summer travel, is they take students places to see Europe or Asia and stuff like that. So that might be something to look into. The 2 to 3 months in the summer, but straight up teaching, you're probably gonna have better luck looking for stuff in Asia than in Europe for like English teaching and stuff like that. Even if English isn't your main thing you teach, that would be something to look into. I would get your ESL certificate. You can do it online just so you have something. Teaching English as a second language. Chris Atkins, is Cancun really unsafe at the current time? Not any more unsafe or safe than usual. I mean, tourism dollars is even bigger bucks than drug money, if you want to look at it that way. And they're not going to go after the tourists quite yet. Okay, so there's that. Hello from Latvia. Will you visit us someday? Yes, I actually lived in Klaipėda, just south of Liepāja, for 3.5 years. So I've been there many, many times. I do have a few videos from there. I don't know if they're out yet. I'll try to get some out this summer to help out. So we've been there. I've been there many, many, many times. So I've always had a good time there. I always like going to Lido. I love that Lido restaurant. There's a bunch of them. That was always good. Yes.
Nothing.
Oh. What else? So Adam L., I'm considering going to Cuba and Bahamas later this year. Have you been to Cuba? I have not. We were going to go we were going to go for our 10-year anniversary, but we ended up going to Turks and Caicos instead, because it was just an easier thing to do. We're just like, we just don't do anything. And so there's 2 of us. So we did nothing. And then, of course, I filmed some videos. Yeah, travel videos, of course. But yeah, Cuba would be cool. Like, you'll have a good time there. So have fun with that one. Let's see. Simple, you're heading off. Yeah, 12:45 in the morning. You should get to bed. I agree. Have a good time. Ida, good to see you there. Hello. Dear Finn, how often have you been in Germany? I lived in Berlin for 2.5 years, and I visited Germany from 1996. I have not been there this year, so I think every year from 1996 through 2018 I've been in Germany. I think it's the first year I will not be in Germany. Dang it, I should have gone over and visited. So I have to do that. My son's doing some great dances to keep me awake here. Ella asked in a few words to describe France. Fantastic. Beautiful, food lover's dream. Okay, and also don't think the French are bad. It's Parisian waiters that give French people a bad name because the Parisian waiters are jerks. Not all, but just like the ones in the tourist areas. So people, associate that with French people, which is not true. The French are amazing people.
Hey, Dad.
Earthly fireflies. I'm sorry, you're gone. So here's one thing. So Earthly Fireflies was putting up a bunch of nice quotes. They were just things they're quoting from other people. And then, of course, I put them in a timeout because they kept posting stuff that wasn't related to travel. And, of course, then they got upset. So I had to do that because, we're here to talk travel. So there's that. Okay. Well, Michael Mon, hey, good. Have a safe flight. Say hey to all our buddies on Delta when you're out there. Have a good time. See you later, buddy. Ella, what's my favorite travel? Honestly, if I can travel with my family, that's my favorite. Because whenever I travel by myself, I start I'm sad to leave, and then I'm okay the first couple of days, and I get the third day, I'm I miss my family. Then I'm seeing signs, I'm I really enjoy this, but even better with the kids were here and Jocelyn were here. So I miss out with those. So for me, it's anywhere I go with the family is my favorite. Oh, those are asking where's Jocelyn? She's out shopping. She's helping the Utrecht economy right now with with stuff. Tony, I have been to Positano. It's beautiful. Go check it out for sure. Aza Rikint, sorry if I'm messing up your name. Would you consider traveling to Iraq, or do you feel uncertain about it? Right now, I'm uncertain about it, but one day, if it calms down, yes, because there's so much to see in Iraq. They have so much world history there that I think that's a lot that's been people don't realize has been lost with the wars and stuff like that. So that's really kind of missed out. Let's see. Yes, I like Tom O'Keefe saying there's always one ASS on the feed. Yes, these things happen. It's okay. And I've gotten better over the years with the trolls. I know Jocelyn has a tough time sometimes with trolls, but and sometimes I'll get in sometimes they'll get you. So sometimes it's tough. So that's why I usually you'll notice if you ever write comments, you write comments on our videos. The first couple of days, I'm always checking the new videos comments because that's mostly our subscribers and our fellow travelers doing it. And then after about 6 months, when they become popular again and the locals start to see it and you have stuff, that's when sometimes you get some really mean comments. I'm I don't need those kind of things. Yes, Caleb.
Who's that travel guy? The guy with the glasses. He was on PBS a while ago.
Rick Steves? Oh, Joseph Rosendo.
Rick Steves. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Caleb was asking about a guy. So, James Maudsley, is there much to do in Scotland? A lot of castles, a lot of looking at beautiful landscapes, and hairy cows. So there is that. Oh, thunderstorms right now in Irkutsk. Well, be safe. Stay out of the lightning. Don't get struck. Here, Chad Williamson. Mark, I'm finishing up my PhD. Good luck. I remember those days. I've kind of blanked out the whole PhD process. Like, once you're finished, like, I don't want to think about it again. So, yes, I feel your pain. I'm finishing my PhD. I'll start teaching at university soon. How do you manage travel during busy semesters? Well, I set up my schedules. So I usually teach Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And so I have Monday, Friday off so I can, well, that's when I'm prepping classes, but I can prep classes while I'm traveling. So I have that. And then, of course, you have the school holidays, and I'll travel those times. So it took me time to get it done. It's not like I could do it right away. Like if I would, let's say I would move to a new university and have new classes, I couldn't travel as much because it takes a lot of time to develop my courses. Because I'm not one of the professors that thinks research is everything. My feeling is like, look, universities are there for education, and so we should focus on educating the future leaders of the world. And so I work my butt off to be a good teacher. And so I'm going to spend the time to make sure I have a really great class. And so, like, if I would switch to a new university, probably the Wolters World number of videos would drop down a bit because the first year or two, I'd really want to get like the really good class in there so the students are getting as much out of it as possible, because students spend a lot of money on education in the U.S. and I want them to feel like they're getting their money's worth. So one thing I'm looking for. Hal 414, what is the best time to go to Portugal? Pretty much any time of the year is good. Maybe not August because a lot of people are on holidays and it's really hot, but otherwise any time of the year is pretty much okay. Except if you want to go to the beach. You don't go to the beach November through like May. Well, I would go in April, May, March, but like the locals don't go till like June, but they're crazy that way. So, Certified Shorty, what advice would you give for a young mom traveling solo with her child? Nothing wrong with it. I would say definitely make sure you're doing your research on terms of the place you're going to go. And when you're going to stay, if you need a pack and play, you know, something for the baby to sleep in, don't wait to ask for it when you get to the hotel. Or Airbnbs hardly ever have them. Okay, so you're looking at more hotels, and with you and just two of you, hotels are fine. But make sure you request that pack and play or the crib so you have something for them to sleep in, because otherwise they might not have them. Okay, and that's for anywhere you travel. Always make sure when you make your reservation, say, hey, I need the baby thing, because then at least you've already reserved it. Because if you were already there, like, look, I reserved this person just walked up, didn't, so I should get it. You have that. So there's that. Celestials 411. Hi Mark, we're going to Italy for 1 week. Plan to do 3 days in Rome, 1 day in Chianti, 3 in Florence. Would you spend more time in Chianti and less in Rome or Florence? No, I think you're okay. I think you're okay with how you have it. That's fine. Maxwell Adamic, any recommendations for locations when backpacking through Europe? The main cities where you want to go, I would look and see some of the cities you really want to enjoy. Don't try to do like 10 countries in 12 days because you're going to spend so much time on trains and planes. You're going to kind of miss out on stuff. There's like some really popular backpacker spots, like Prague is really big, and Interlaken in Switzerland for like canyoning and stuff like that is really popular. So there is that. Let's see. Eusebio Nanakak. Hello, I'm in Cadiz right now and I'm having difficulties about their Spanish accent. It's not the same as I've heard in my classrooms. Do you have anything to suggest me? Okay, so anywhere you travel, you're going to have different accents and different stuff. I know, like Jocelyn, she understands Nicaragua, like she can understand Spanish in Nicaragua and Costa Rica really easily. Argentina, she had a tough time. But when we were in Mexico, they spoke a lot faster. She had a really tough time understanding that Spanish. Whereas, you know, in Spain, she was like, okay, I kind of get this. And the different accents can make it pretty difficult. It's kind of like if you ever watch like a movie that has really strong Scottish accent, it may be English, but you're like, I don't understand what they're saying. So it just takes practice hearing it. That's all I can really say, is to get used to it. Just keep trying and trying and trying. And sometimes it's different vocabulary. It's like, what did you say? Don't be afraid to ask them to repeat something. So Nathan, best place in Croatia. I like Istria or Ravine and stuff like that. It's pretty nice. Steve Williams, we're going to Europe next year for 5 or 6 months. Flying into Italy, stay a month and a half, then on up through Ireland. Do you think that's too long? For 5 or 6 months? You can do it, but if you don't have visas to stay that long, you can only stay for 90 days. So make sure you're getting out in time so you don't get in trouble with overstaying your visa, because you don't want to get in trouble with that. So make sure you're like hitting up the UK or going like North Africa or something like that to like reset your time kind of stuff. So you might want to look into that, because 5 or 6 months without visas you can't do. In the Schengen countries, you'll get in trouble for that. Well, they might not catch you, but you know, you got to be careful with that. Okay, let's see. Certified Shortly. Shorty, I'm always watching and rewatching your travel videos like the airports and travel with children videos. I'm glad, and I know Jocelyn does a lot of those, and so I know she appreciates that as well. I'm sure she'd say thank you too. And I guess 2 hours of a live feed is probably all I'm going to be able to do for now. But I wanted to give some extra time today because it's been a long time since I've done one of these. So I appreciate everybody coming on here. I'm sorry I couldn't get everybody's questions in because it's been a long time with not a lot of sleeping. So I just want to say thank you, everybody. I'll try to do some more of these because I'll be back in a couple weeks in the U.S. So I know I'll have internet all the time so that I can do more of these from. I think in Paris we have good internet again. So maybe Justin, I'll do one from Paris in a week or two. So I'll have another live feed so we can help out some more travelers like you. So wish you all the best. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate all your support, and you all have a great time. And have fun at Lydia. Have fun in Costa Rica. Going to Nice and Paris. You'll have a good time in those. And no, I have not been to all 50 states, but we're almost there. So I wish you all the best. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day. Have a great Saturday morning. Have a great Saturday night, Saturday midday, maybe Sunday morning for all those of you in Australia. Have all those things. And I will say thank you to everybody for taking part today, and happy travels wherever you're going. Bye, everybody.